Ma.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 3 of Big Girl Panties, the podcast where faith meets real life and we dive into the heart of womanhood. We're your hosts. I'm Shaina. This is Priya. And we invite you to join us on embracing the messy, the complicated, and the beautiful aspects of life through a Christian lens and put on our big girl panties to tackle the tough stuff together. All right, Priya, how are you? What's up? I have to end it somehow. Don't laugh at me. I tried so hard.
No, it's good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay.
Your outfit is giving clueless.
Thank you. I actually take that as a very deep compliment.
It is.
They were the epitome of fashion for me at one point in time.
The peak.
Yes.
You couldn't get any better.
Dion was an icon. Like, actually an icon. Did you see her micro braids? I know we were supposed to be into Cher, but Dion. Yeah.
No, it's true.
Anyway, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And I mean, I told you this earlier, but I really like that you're wearing your hair wavy. I think it's cute.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's one of my goals for this year to figure out how to like work with my hair and not just like blow dry it or whatever.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's a commitment.
Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to do it, to be honest.
How have you been doing so far?
I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, this looks good, but this is the waviest I've seen your hair this year. And I've seen you a lot this year. I feel like I'm constantly here.
Well, like, okay, so I feel like my hair has gotten wavier as I've gotten older.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like I want to learn how to like just embrace that, you know, and like bring it out. But I also don't want to spend like $1 million on like products and whatever. But I also know that I'm probably going to have to get like an actual blow dryer with like the diffuser attachment. Pussies.
Love you.
Yeah, I know I'm going to have to get a blow dryer with the diffuser attachment and whatever. If I really want to like, you know, for real.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the Dyson Airwrap? Because I hear some people saying it's incredible. I know people that use it. And then some people are saying it's so bad for your hair. Don't do it.
But isn't the whole point that it's supposed to be better for your hair than like the alternative?
Well, that's what I thought too. But people are saying like you'll get little flyaways because it kind of breaks your hair. I don't know.
But okay,
I mean, I
even
have
if
locks,
that is
so
true,
like, who am I to say anything? But
right. But even if that is true, then how is that any different from any other thing that you would use?
Well,
because anything else would do the same thing, right?
Right, which is why I'm asking what your thoughts are.
Well, that sounds like a lie to me. How can it be worse?
I don't know.
It's either the same or it's better, right?
It should be.
I would think so.
I don't know.
I would say it's better even for just the fact that it has all the different attachments. So it's like multi-purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I would like to get one.
You should.
But I'm not going to spend the money on it.
Oh,
I'll get like the Shark one before I get the Dyson one. You know?
Is that the budget version?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Shark one is still expensive, but it's not like $800.
Okay. Yeah, it better be good if you're dropping that much money.
Yeah. That's what I think. But then I also think like if I'm going to invest the money and get like a good blow dryer, then like I would want the Dyson one. I realize that that's different than the Airwrap, but like if I'm going to get a blow dryer,
yeah,
like go big or go home.
Well, here's one thing about me. I will always, if I don't get the exact one I wanted, I'd rather not have it.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, but I feel like not many people are actually like that.
You think so?
Because I get flack for it all the time. I'll be like, no, I'd rather not have it at all. And people are like, that's ridiculous. Like, just get the dupe or just get the cheaper version. And I'm like, no, I want that one. Because I made up my mind.
If I've tried something and I know what is happening
your
right
phone
now,
is popping
what
off.
is going on?
Put your phone on silent.
Group chat.
Put your phone on silent.
Huh?
I said D&D.
Oh, I'll just flip it over. Do not disturb feels like too much of a commitment. I don't know.
My phone is constantly on do not disturb because I'm like, do not disturb my peace.
Exactly. Don't text me.
Yeah.
No, I'm too nosy.
No, I'd rather not. No. Like for a very long point in time, I turned off all the notifications for every social media app. A lot of them are still off. there's only one that I have on right now for like one very specific reason. And then it was like I don't want to know. I actually, if the world is on fire, someone will alert me.
No, I want to know.
Not with my phone.
I want to know, and then I can choose if I want to care or not.
No, because
but I want to know.
No, because I feel like once I know, I don't have a choice. My body's like, okay, we care.
Really?
And I don't want to care. So
no,
yeah,
but I think I'm different because
see me.
I can I can choose if I want to care or not.
I love that.
I can just decide to be like, I'll deal with it later. You know? But I'm like that with texting. Sometimes it's a choice and sometimes it's unintentional. Like sometimes I'll read a text and like respond in my head and then forget to actually respond.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
I feel like people think I'm lying.
No, 100%. That's how it is for me.
I'll go back in and half the text is typed out. And I'm fully there like, why didn't they text me back after I texted them back? It was me. I'm the problem.
Yeah. When it comes to me, I will respond to you in like 2 to 5 business days. Intentionally or unintentionally, you can expect 2 to 5 business days. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
that's accurate.
I want a Dyson blow dryer.
Yes. All donations welcome. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right. Go fund me.
Stop. What do you think about, okay, so you know how people have registries for their weddings and things like that? I mean, you guys literally had a registry. Would you ever do a registry if you were having a very big birthday?
What?
Yeah.
That's a thing? People do that?
I don't know. I don't know if they do or not. It was just a thought that crossed my mind.
No, I could never. I
don't think I could either. But my thought was, so, I mean, I have a big birthday coming up. And I was like, what if I never get married and this was my one shot at having a registry? Like, should I do one? But then I was like, absolutely not. Like, I would feel really bad if my friends like brought me things for my birthday. Like, I'm going to be 30. Like, no. But there's this like little intrusive thought on my shoulder being like,
that's so interesting.
Like, register for anything. I can't.
That's so interesting.
Like, I would rather people bring stuff that I could donate somewhere. You know what I mean? But the thought did run through my head. I'm like, what if you never get to do a registry? Just do one.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
For me, for a birthday, no, I couldn't.
Right? I don't think so.
To me, that feels like so presumptuous.
Yes. That's a good way to describe it.
So presumptuous. Like, I don't know. And maybe that's in part because like I'm just not like a big gifts person. Like I like them and I appreciate it, but I'm not like, you know how some people, that's like one of the main ways that they like
language.
receive love or like feel loved or whatever. To me, gifts is at the bottom.
Same.
Yeah. So like I like it. I appreciate it. But like I can totally do without it and not even think twice.
Yeah.
Gifts is my number 2.
Is it really?
Yeah.
What's your number 1?
Acts of service.
Okay.
Yeah. Which for you kind of blends together. Right?
I see that. I mean, not for you, just as a general statement.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Acts of service is very specific and gifts is very specific.
Yeah, but it's like the thought and the effort of the gift.
Yeah, that doesn't apply to
not
acts
that
of
that's
service.
the exact same as an acts of service, but like
it's not even close to the same.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I've had though, somebody will give me something and it was a gift, but it felt very acts of service because it was like, I know that if I give you this, it's going to help make your life better. Not just like, here, I want to show you that I care. Here's a gift. So in that way, I'll like a gift. But yeah, gifts are like right at the bottom love language for me. I'm such a words of affirmation, acts of service person. And giving and receiving for sure. Yeah.
Interesting. For me, actually, I think I'm just like probably high maintenance when it comes to that because like all of them except for gifts score within like
the same.
Yeah, within like 1 or 2 points of each other. And then gifts is like the outlier, just like at the bottom with like there. 1 point. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But for me, it's like physical touch and words of affirmation.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I give physical touch better than I receive it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm very much both.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I've always wondered? How much of your love language is actually your love language versus how you were loved growing up?
So kind of the nature nurture debate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I didn't grow up in a very touchy household. So touch for me is like, meh, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But being married, I like touch. So it's like, how much of it do I actually like for like just me liking it versus I'd like it more if I just grew up in a touchy household?
That's interesting.
I need to be hugged like at least 3 times a day, or like I'll die.
And she doesn't let go.
Yeah. It's like, you know, when like you plug in a phone and it like does the little like charm beep, whatever sound that it makes.
Yes.
And then like the battery charging sign pops up.
Yes.
That's me.
Aw. So cute.
Yeah. It's like koala.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was just the cutest image in my head ever. I'm like, ah! No, okay. I could see that for you, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, I can. Well, what I'm starting to learn is how important it is to be intuitive when you're hugging other people and don't let go until they let go, especially with kids. With kids. EJ is freaking out over there.
We would never stop hugging.
You and Priya?
Yeah.
Okay, but y'all are married. I'm talking about like you see somebody at church or you see somebody you haven't seen in a while. Again, with kids, like if you hug them, they'll let go when they're ready. And sometimes it's really quick and sometimes they needed that hug.
Yeah.
But they don't really know how to articulate it.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of sweet to like see it play out.
I also think it's just so cute in general when a kid comes up and hugs you because it's like,
oh my gosh. I love children.
Yeah.
Everything about them. They're so cute. Or when a kid comes up and they give you a compliment because you know they meant it.
They meant it.
Oh, from the deep down bottom of their heart.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite when it's just like a weird, like totally random, obscure compliment too. You know, it's like, that was great.
Yeah. I'm like, God sent you.
Yeah.
I needed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Oh, so cute.
Okay, should we do
BGP moment?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. Let me collect myself here. So I guess my BGP moment is kind of a mismatch of thoughts and things, but I feel like this past week I had a couple situations pop up where I know how I would have previously handled it, and I handled it very differently. And unfortunately, I can't get into what those were. I wish I could, but it was
it a work thing?
One of them was,
okay.
And so it's like untouchable.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm just realizing how, and I still struggle with this. So I'm saying this knowing full well, I have a very long way to go when it comes to boundaries and when it comes to not assuming feelings from other people that I have no business picking up. And so that kind of came up where I was in these situations and I know how I would have acted before. It would have hit me for a lot harder and longer. I would have been way more anxious. I would have been just feeling really guilty about how things went down and blaming myself for things that I didn't need to be blamed for. And I responded in the entire opposite way. So where I was kind of like, okay, this happened. That was inappropriate. I didn't appreciate it. And like, I'm going to say that. And I mean, you know this. I would just like say nothing and suffer in silence. And again, I know I have a very, very long way to go with this, but it was cool to see that and notice it for myself and then have a couple other people be like, hey, Like, I feel like you handled that way differently than you typically would have. And it made me so proud of myself. And I was like, Lord, thank you, because it's a struggle to people pleasing is a struggle. Just in general, struggling with overvaluing how I'm impacting other people, picking up other people's emotions. And then, the people pleasing, that's like my trifecta of doom. Like, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
And so, to be in that situation was a blessing. And I know I'm not going to be perfect at it, but I was like, okay, I can do that. It was hard, but it wasn't as hard as it's been. And it was a challenge that I feel like I navigated well. And so I was proud of myself.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious what you mean when you said assuming emotion from people that you have no business assuming from them.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
That's a great question. So sometimes, let's say you and I had an interaction. You walk away, it seems like we've resolved it, but I'm going to go away and be like, well, she could still feel this. And what if she feels that? And what if when I said that, she actually felt this? And dig myself into a hole of like, what ifs? Like, what if you actually didn't feel that way? Or what if you said things were fine, but they weren't? Or also just, let's say we resolved it and you're still a little, like, you might still be a little miffed. Like, you can resolve something with somebody and you still feel a little, and you just need a second to sit out your feelings.
Yes. Yeah.
But I would take that and disregard everything we just talked about and say, because right in this moment, she's not perfectly happy or she's not like perfectly calm. That means I need to feel that too. And it means that it didn't all get figured out, which I'm realizing is a control problem on my end because I want the situation to be okay. I don't want people to be mad. I don't want to hurt people, but I'm placing a lot of emphasis on my role when the truth is that person just needs to get through their feelings. And like, that's okay. I don't have to involve myself all up in that. So I think I'm learning to separate, like, I'm going to go into this corner and deal with my emotions and they're going to go deal with their emotions. But I've set the boundary. I said what I had to say. They said what they had to say and it's done. And I'm not good at it all the time, but I'm getting better. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Okay. I asked that because I had this realization like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
That I have a tendency to assume motive.
Ah.
Yeah. So like EJ's rolling his eyes because it's usually with him.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
He's the victim of my assumptions. I assume motive. So for example, if he asks me a question, if I like, instead of just answering the actual question that he's asking me, I'll respond with an answer that I think answers or solves the like motive or like the reason for why he's asking that question.
So
does that make sense?
You get stuck in mind reading.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but it sounds like you do it to start off and I do it at the end.
Yeah, no, for me, it's like a starting.
Like you go in.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like most of it's like unconscious. Like I don't realize that I'm doing it. Like I either catch myself in the moment or like he'll point it out or like I'll think about it after or something. Usually it's just unintentional. But yeah, it's like the thought process, if you will, that I'm not aware is happening is like, okay, he can't possibly just be asking me that question like at face value.
Okay.
So what is it that I think that he's actually trying to get at, you know, or like the feelings that he must be feeling to then ask me that question. And so that's what I end up trying to address is my assumptions there, as opposed to, just the actual question that he's asking.
That's very
And I think that it's also kind of a control thing too.
Yes.
But based in like, let me like protect myself here. Like, let me put a wall up really quick.
Yeah.
And like, self-preservation basically, so that I can like try to, control what's going on and like figure out the emotions and the whatever so that I'm good in this conversation,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it is.
I see that. And I think it's interesting what you said, like it's a protective factor.
Yeah.
Because something that I've learned so much, I mean, yes, in my own life, but I think having the kind of that passenger seat view into so many people's lives when they come and tell me like their deep, dark stuff, I realize how much we set ourselves up for the worst thinking that it's going to protect us and how harmful that actually is. Because you go into a situation and you're like, okay, if this bad thing happens, I'll do this. If this bad thing happens, I'll do that. If they're actually assuming this, well, no, I'm going to come in with this. And most of the time, what we prep for is not at all what's going to happen. But we end up hurting ourselves in the process or making that other person annoyed or uncomfortable or whatever it is. And it's so interesting that we have this very doomsday mentality. Like we're always prepping for the other shoe to drop. It's like, why can't we just be happy?
Yeah.
It's so fascinating.
I mean, I think I know for me in this specific like example,
yes,
it does come from like not to like throw out like trendy words.
Okay.
But it is kind of like a trauma response kind of thing for me.
Yes.
From like being, manipulated and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where like I had to do that.
Yes.
Like I had to like let me walk on eggshells and like assess the situation and like assess the mood and like, assume basically what this person is actually thinking and feeling because I can't trust the words that are coming out of their mouth.
Right.
And so for my protection and for self-preservation, I need to like read in between the lines and, but like you said, it's not actually productive. And so it was self-preservation in those situations, but I no longer need to be like that. And so it does end up being a hindrance now with EJ. I have no reason to be like that anymore.
Yeah.
But because it's just like an ingrained thing, now I have to work on like catching it and not doing that
Unlearning
anymore.
is hard.
I feel like unlearning is harder than learning.
It is. It 1,000,000% is. I don't really understand why though.
Because I feel like if you're learning something, you're kind of starting from scratch. But if you're unlearning, at least like in this kind of a situation, you're having to, how do I put this? Like there's a reason why you had to learn that in the first place. Like that behavior, that mindset. So now it's like you're having to learn how to stop doing that behavior or thought pattern or whatever it is. But you're also having to learn how to like just like function and like exist in a new setting or like situation,
I feel like that's like a callback to 2 episodes ago when you were talking about unlearning
and like replacing a maladaptive behavior with a healthy behavior.
And how you said kids, it's so much easier for them to learn it because it's just the primary way they're learning it.
Right.
Versus adults, you got to like untrain yourself.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And cool.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's harder too because you're unlearning something, but having to relearn an alternative at the same time.
Yeah, you're doing both.
Yeah.
And something else I was just thinking with kind of both what you just said and what EJ just said, it's like we when you're unlearning, you're still operating in the context of, like you said, what has previously happened. And our brains have a hard time recognizing that there are different patterns for different situations. It just says, okay, in situation A, we do B. It's very like 0 and 1. But there's like so much gray area. So it just feels very unsafe. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It is very
But yeah,
interesting.
that's why I asked. Because I know for me, yeah, that's like a newer like realization.
Yeah.
I assume motive. Yeah.
Okay. I want you to tell me your BGP moment, but I have to, this is going to sound so weird. You look so pretty. I've been like looking at, like, I swear half the time I didn't hear what you're talking about. I'm like, sis, you look really pretty today. Like,
thank you.
Something is happening. Yeah, I was looking at you and I was like,
oh my gosh.
Go best friend. You're so cute.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyway, go ahead. Tell me your BGP moment.
Day made. Okay, my BGP moment.
Yes.
Happened yesterday.
Oh, fresh.
Hot off the presses. So we went to some new friends of ours house for dinner last night.
Other friends? Anyway, I'm kidding.
You know that's the worst when people get friend jealous?
Wait, in which context?
Sorry,
I don't think I've ever been friend jealous. I mean,
you've never experienced that?
If what I'm thinking you're describing friend jealous as, like somebody has a new friend that they're hanging out with a lot and suddenly you feel some type of way about it. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever experienced that.
Interesting.
Genuinely.
Interesting.
But what I will do is be like, I hope they invite me because this other friend sounds cool. But not in like a jealous way, just FOMO. Like maybe FOMO a little. Like I want to meet them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like I don't get friend jealous because like for what?
I just don't
Why?
see for what.
Yeah. But like when you're like the object of the friend jealousy.
Yes.
It's weird.
Yeah. It's very
weird.
Uncomfortable too.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I don't really know what to do in the situation.
Like why are you
like, do you not make other friends? Like,
yeah. I'm the only person you talk to ever.
I don't feel like either of you are the type to have a friend that would get friend jealous.
To have a friend that would get friend jealous? I have.
Never mind.
I feel like I've never gotten friend jealous with you.
No.
But I think about like, you know, the girls who are your bridesmaids. I was so excited to meet them because I was like, I've been hearing about them for so long. Like I'm just so excited to meet them.
Yeah.
So so in that case, I wouldn't even really call it FOMO. It's more just like oh my gosh, I can't wait for the day where I get to meet this person.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been like confronted before about like having other friendships, which has been weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, how did that go down? You have to tell me.
Later.
It's one of those.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
It's always interesting because you're not really sure what to do. It's like
because it's so awkward.
Yeah, but also it's just like I know you have other friends.
And you're telling me that I can't?
Yeah. It's one thing for somebody to be like, oh my gosh, like I kind of miss you.
Mm-hmm.
Like we haven't hung out that much.
Mm-hmm.
But it's quite another when people are like, they're just like, no, hard pass. No. It's very odd.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. I mean, it must be coming from somewhere, so I don't take it too harshly. But
it's possessive.
That feels like such a strong word, though.
But isn't that what it would be? You're policing your friends' other friends?
I guess.
That's possessive.
Yeah.
You know what? I guess that's fair to say. And those friendships typically don't last very long anyway.
No. Red flags.
Yeah. It tends to fizzle. It tends to correct itself and like it just ends.
And you know what? It did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's true. We should compare notes later.
Yeah, we will.
When the mics are off.
We have our own after show literally every week.
It's true.
So when I said this, what I really meant.
That's where the real dirt comes out. Yeah. Like, it gets messy.
I love it. I love it.
Oh
anyway,
my gosh. Okay, no, but
that's what you're saying. I'm so sorry.
No, so we went to these people's house for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And it was weird because like prior, like that morning, I suddenly became very like aware of the fact that like this is the first time that EJ and I, as a married couple, as adults, are going to another couple's house for dinner
For a play date.
as company. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And not in like a, you know, it's just like one of our other pre-existing friends.
Right. They're
who
not already in
like
the
we've
friend group.
been friends with for like a long time, to the point where like we just hang out and it's not like we're not company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I go over to your house, we're not company. When you come over here, you're not company, right?
Yeah.
Like you just walk in the door.
Do whatever.
If you're hungry, go open the fridge. Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So yeah, this was the first time that, yeah, as married adults, we've like gone as company to another couple's house for dinner.
Wow.
And I don't know why that like
That's kind of cute.
was like this moment. But yeah, it was. It felt like, oh my gosh, this is like a very adulty thing right now.
Were you nervous?
No.
No? Okay.
No, because they're actually like really, really, really awesome people.
Oh.
And we've been like becoming friends with them, which is really awesome. So this was just like, you know, we're just like continuing the process of becoming better friends, you know? So yeah, it was really cool. And like we had a great time and everything. But yeah, it was just really funny, like this realization that I had. And yeah, it was like this just, yeah, this feels like a very like, because like, you know, when you're a kid and like you as a family would get invited over to somebody else's house, but it's like your parents were friends with their parents. And so you would either have to go because it's your family and they invited you. And so you would go and like eat dinner and whatever, and then be like, okay, like,
what's happening?
Can we wrap this up? Like, I want to go home. Or they would have kids that you were hopefully friends with. And if you weren't, then you would have to go and just like kind of make friends with them in that moment as much as you can, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was kind of funny.
I like that.
Yeah, it was really fun. I was like, oh my gosh. Wow.
That's like a sweet adulty moment to have. I love it.
Yeah, like it was totally like not, you know, serious. It's like a very lighthearted BGP, but it was, yeah, it just felt like an adult stamp on like the adult passport kind of thing, you know?
Come on now.
It was kind of funny.
No, I like it.
Yeah. So that was mine.
Nice.
Yeah. But okay, it made me think though that we should talk about making friends as adults.
Okay.
Because I think it's hard.
Yeah.
I think that's really hard.
And you know what? It's okay, before we even get into why it's hard, what has your experience been with making friends as an adult? Where have most of your friends come from? Have they come in specific seasons? Where did you meet said friends? I want the tea.
So, I mean, like when I was young, I had my group of friends in high school. And I don't know, it was high school. Like, it was fine. Whatever.
You know,
I'm not one of those people that's like still, you know, super tight with all of their besties from high school. I think that's really cool if that's
I agree. I think it's so cool if you are that
scenario, but it's not for me. There's one person that I'm still friends with and like keep in contact with from high school, and that's it. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
And so after that, it was an interesting phase of like, okay, not that I feel like I'm, you know, out here as like a loner, just like deprived of human interaction. But I was like, I'm very aware of the fact that like there's like a certain type of friend that I know that I need. Like the real ones.
Yeah.
You know? like the see you at your high, see you at your low, you know, kind of friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until I started volunteering at my previous church that I found that.
Yeah.
And those people are like still to this day, you know, like ride or die friends.
Yeah.
Like just the best. I don't know how it could possibly get better than that.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. I love them. They're great. But it's interesting because in this season of life now, we're all older and like some of us are married now, and that's like all amazing. But it means that we're no longer living in like such close proximity to each other. And so we don't get to see each other as often. And like just, you know, life looks different for all of us now.
Mm-hmm.
And so still super, super tight with all of them. But in this season of our lives now, it's like, okay, not that like they need to be replaced, but like who
do I swap you out with now?
Yeah, like, but like who are like the next people?
Yeah.
You know? And especially like being married too. It's like who, like you need to have couple friends. Like that's an important thing, you know? So yeah, it's like who are those people gonna be?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like what we've been on the last little while, is trying to like just like get connected with people and see like who's who.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget what your question was. What was I just talking about?
It's okay. I love a tangent.
Yeah.
Well, I was asking just what has your experience been with making friends in your adult life? Like where did you meet them?
Right.
All those types of things.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think, again, I can't speak about it from like a single perspective because I'm not. So I think one of the weird things about making friends as a married person is that it's almost like a package deal kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like, not that you can't just be friends with one person. Like, obviously you can. But there is an element of like, it's a package deal. And like, you know, if I think that like the wife, for example, is like really cool and like I want to be friends with her. But like, I don't know, the husband's like really weird or something.
You're like, well, dang.
And it like makes it a little bit more difficult because it's like, oh, okay, so if they don't click, then
problems.
this is a little more complicated.
I 1000% disagree.
You think so?
100%.
Tell me why.
I don't think we have to share the couple friends.
No, I'm not saying that we have to share friends.
But like, if you found a woman who you thought was so dope and you befriended her, but her husband was a weirdo, you do not have to feel any type of urge to get me connected with him. Go do
No,
you.
I know that.
I think
That's my point.
What you're saying is you might almost not go in as deep trying to be friends with her. Not that you would force EJ to be friends with him.
Yeah.
But you're kind of like, okay, she's cool, but like, she's not going to be my bestie because like the guy's weird.
You know, but then I also question though, how realistic is it that a situation would arise where like the wife is just like super cool and I want to be besties with her, but then she has a weird husband? Because if she has a really weird husband, then chances are that I probably wouldn't think that she's super cool and I want to be besties with her.
Vicious cycle.
Because if you're married and like he's super weird, then you're probably kind of weird too.
Weird adjacent.
I like that. Weird adjacent.
You know, like birds of a feather, right?
Yes. Well, I do think that when you end up specifically in a marriage, but even in a dating relationship, people kind of do judge you based on who you're with.
Yeah, kind of.
Like it says something about you. And you want it to be good, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then there's some people who really surprise you because they feel weird at first. And then you like actually have a good conversation with them and you're like, oh, wait, they're so funny. Or they're so this or so that. Like,
yeah,
I don't mind if people present a little weird or quirky at first. Like
No, I'm not talking about like slightly weird or quirky because like that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean more like you're just like an antisocial, like standoffish, rude, kind of weird. Or like, I don't know. Choose your weird. I don't know.
Choose your weird. I think that I have a soft spot like for this, but I think that people can get mistaken for being kind of like what you described, like kind of weird, standoffish, whatever. Not because they actually are, but they just did something that presents in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was just the way they carried themselves or because I don't know, maybe they're a big introvert, but they don't really know how to like turn it off sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be like, oh. I think the word standoffish just triggers me a bit because I've been told I'm standoffish before and I'm like, really? Like it made me so sad.
Mm-hmm. No, I get that. And I would agree because we actually know people where like, you know, they're like a major introvert and like even have like some social anxiety and stuff like that. And so they come across as being uninterested or standoffish, but they're actually not.
Exactly.
It's just in a public social setting, it's just a lot for them.
Things are happening.
Yeah. So I get that.
Yeah.
I think the weird that's like not cool is the weird where, like, let's say you find the girl who you click with. She's an extrovert, right? Because usually extroverts and introverts.
Why is that?
I don't know. Opposites
I was going to
attract.
say
because
that.
y'all introverts need help.
We do.
The only reason I have friends is because I've latched onto my extrovert friends.
Yeah. Usually an extrovert finds an introvert and then.
And extroverts love to adopt an introvert.
Yeah.
It's like, or cheers.
Because you feel like a project.
And introverts love being adopted by extroverts.
So it all works.
It works.
Symbiosis.
Imagine you found a woman who you befriended. She was an extrovert. Her husband was an introvert, right? I'm an introvert. But we go over there, we go to hang out, and I'm trying to talk to him, and he's socially awkward. I think introvert and socially awkward are not synonymous.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of weird where I'll be like, okay, you know what? I'm cool. You can go chill with her. I'm gonna stay home. But just because he's like an introvert, like usually introverts can talk to you and they won't be like weird. But like
no, you just prefer like a more one-on-one or just like smaller setting. Yeah.
But I mean the people who like, it's the two of us in the room. We both know our wives are having fun. We have to talk, but you're not talking. So we're just sitting here awkwardly in a quiet room.
It sounds like torture.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Did you ever see?
And he probably will too.
Yeah, true. Did you ever see? The answer is probably no, which breaks my heart. EJ, do you remember that episode of Friends when Ross has oh my gosh, who's the boyfriend?
Ross had a boyfriend?
No.
Oh, I was like, I swear I've watched all of Friends except the last episode.
Oh, true. Okay. Do you remember the episode of Friends when Ross has that one guy's or the one other character's boyfriend over because the two girls are going out? Who is it? I'm actually ashamed of myself that I can't remember. Honestly,
I should also preface I've seen all of Friends, but not the way you've seen Friends.
Yeah, you
like,
which is why I'm ashamed of myself that I can't remember right now.
I don't know details like this.
Anyway, it's like socially awkward. The girls are going out and like having a good time, and the two of them are back just like staring at the wall, like not knowing how to talk.
Yikes!
Do you remember that episode?
I don't.
I don't either.
Oh.
It's okay.
I'm gonna go find out what it is.
Yeah, that's gonna bug you for the rest of our recording time.
Yeah, no, but I agree though, because socially awkward is, and like socially awkward to an extent too, though, because I think that we all sometimes can be a little
most definitely
socially awkward, but it's like when it's to such an extreme,
yes,
or when like the socially awkward comes across as like when it's like rude, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's just like, I don't know what to do with you.
Yeah, like
right
socially
now.
awkward where like you're not trying. Like there's socially awkward where I'm trying to, be social, but it's not working and it's kind of just, oh, my bad, you know? But then there's socially awkward where like I have no intentions of speaking to you. If you talk to me, I will give you a one-word answer and
Call
not
them.
look at you. And yeah, there's just a difference.
Yeah.
When somebody gives an effort, then it's like, okay, I can work through your social awkwardness,
Mm-hmm.
or at least try to. But when like you just have no intention and you're just like, then it's like, okay, goodbye. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. What are we talking about?
Well,
How to
how
make
do you make
friends.
friends?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's hard as an adult too, because when you're kids, like you just as a human are so uncomplicated that, you can walk up to a kid and be like, what's your favorite color? Blue. My favorite color is blue too. And now you guys are like
Or
besties on
my
the
favorite color
playground.
is orange. Great. Let's be friends.
Yeah. Like, oh, that's cool. I like orange too. And then, yeah. But like as adults, we're like picky and complicated.
We're socially awkward.
We're socially awkward.
Yeah. Well, because I'm
and
thinking,
like set in our ways. So
Yes.
it's like,
I'm thinking
relating to
of-
people is almost harder in a way, even though you have more of a capability as an adult of relating to other people.
And I wouldn't even say that relating to other people is our problem. I think the problem as adults is we fear the judgment of others more.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you can really relate to anyone. We're all humans. So we must share something in common.
Yeah.
But it is definitely that idea of, okay, if I go up to this person and just strike up a conversation, like, what if they think I'm weird? What if this? What if that? And we get so caught up in that. But I don't know. I don't think we need to be.
Do you think it's because we do it? Like as kids, we probably are not judging people the way we do now that we're adults and we just live more life, we know more. And I think maybe that judgment that we tend to always put on people, because we do it to people, we just automatically think that they are doing the same thing to us. So then it's like, okay, I either want to present myself as something because I know they're going to judge me. So let me present as XYZ so that they think I'm cool or whatever. Versus kid mind of like, I like blue. You like orange? Oh, cool. Okay. Want to go play? And then that's it. I think we do it to ourselves.
I think that's a lot of it. Because I feel like as an adult versus as a kid, like when you're a kid and you meet somebody, like you have no sense of like shame.
Yes.
Like you just like present yourself and like say what's on your mind and like blurt out the weird things and like, be a weird kid, right? Like cool, weird kid, But like as an adult, when we meet people, we present or we give or show like layers of ourselves based on like our perception of the other people or what we think they're thinking of us or, what our comfort, like vulnerable level is or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't meet people and just right off the bat. Actually, you know what? Sometimes that's not true. I shouldn't say that. Sometimes you meet people and you start with like the small talk, whatever, for 2 minutes. And then like 5 minutes later, you're like
heart to heart,
like, yeah. Just like full on trauma dumping on each other.
Yeah.
That does happen.
It does. And so I think to an extent, like what your guys is saying, I agree in which I just think as an adult, our maturity and our discernment is more so that we understand that if you lay it all out with anybody, there's more risk associated. What I don't think is that we worry about what people think of us because we think the same thing of others. Like the things I worry that people are going to think about me, when I really stop and ask myself, when's the last time you ever thought that about somebody? I'm like, I haven't. So I don't really know where that comes from, where I'm personally expecting people to judge me or feel a certain way about me, because I really don't feel that way at all about other people. So I don't know where the disconnect is, but all that to say, I don't think that we do it specifically because, or we worry about that specifically because we do it to other people.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe it's so we as adults, as a race, maybe not like me specifically, you know, but I do think kids will be just very innocent and just shameless, as you said, until they feel that feeling of they just got judged in a negative way.
Yeah, the shame.
And I think at some point we all go through that, where we were judged or somebody we know was judged. And then all of a sudden now we think, well, there's danger, you
Yes.
know, in just being myself. And I think that danger comes from just people, not necessarily like I judge, but people judge, you know, and just knowing that through age, you just end up at a point where you're like, okay, the bigger the onion, the more layers,
Mhm.
right? So it's like, okay, I'm gonna give you this much, see how you handle it,
Mhm.
right? With kids, it's like, I don't have much to give, so black here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I can see that.
Who do you think has a harder time making friends? Adult women or adult men?
That's a great question. Sorry, let me take a cleansing breath. I don't know what that was. I think men have a hard time making meaningful friendships, and women might have a hard time making the initial friendship connection. I feel like guys can be like, have you seen those videos where a guy, it'll start off, they're walking past each other in a hallway, like they work in the same building, and like at first it's just the head nod. Then eventually it's like, hey, bro, what's up? And the next thing you know, they're all of a sudden they're like besties, and it's like, oh, I have to tell you this, but it's still kind of shallowish. Like I've seen guys like act like they've been friends forever because they like played basketball together a couple times. I think girls, we can be a little bit more like, I don't know how I feel, but then when we start to talk, we dive in deep really quickly if you feel comfortable. So I think that makes for more meaningful friendship. But I think guys can be friends. And when you start asking them intimate, deep, like you're like, so what about their family? What about this? They're like, I don't know. How many siblings do they have? I don't remember. Like they don't always get that deep with it. From what I can see. And I'm not saying like generally, but something that I've observed is that.
Yeah. Okay. My like perception,
Yes.
I guess if that's the right word,
Yeah, I think so.
is that kind of similar. So I feel like for guys, they can go like they might make that like initial friendship connection quicker, but they can go for longer being just like, fun.
Intro level friends.
Yeah, just like fun, like bro, whatever, hang out, nothing too deep, just like fairly surfacey level.
Surface bros.
Kind of, sure, friends. But like you said, like how many siblings do you have? Where did you grow up? Like whatever.
What do you feel about this?
Would have have absolutely no idea. But they've been friends for like 2 years, right? Whereas, with women, I feel like we're maybe a little bit more like hesitant or reserved or whatever with the initial friendship connection. But once that connection has been made, it's just like, boop.
Yeah, we're in
like
deep now.
Dive right into like, the childhood trauma.
Yes.
That's kind of what I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're on the same page with that one.
So is that the gauge of meaningful friendship?
Is what the gauge?
Sharing trauma?
No.
I would say no.
I think meaningful friendship encompasses a few things. One, I'm going to just start off the bat by saying I think we use the word friendship way too loosely. And I think that it's okay to call somebody an acquaintance. It's maybe not like, and it feels bad to say that to their face, like, oh, this is my acquaintance so and so, but they're not your friend. Like, or if, you know, somebody's a colleague, somebody's, you know, somebody from your school, like a fellow student, a peer, those are very different than this is a person I have a friendship with. But I guess I would say a meaningful friendship. I characterize meaningful friendship if I know I can tell you something and you're going to pray for me. That is to me one of the huge markers for myself of like a meaningful friendship. I know you're going to pray for me and I will be praying for you. I know if I went to you with a problem, you would actually sit down and try to help me and give me meaningful feedback. You would call me out if you saw me doing something harmful to myself, or you would ask me questions like, are you sure about this? Like, do you need support? That type of stuff. To me, those are markers of a meaningful friendship. We can have fun together, but when life is lifing, I know that this is somebody that is actually in my corner and is actually going to take the time to be there and help me navigate. Now, I think there's tiers of friendship too. Like that's it's like my bosom buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you could have friends in which they're a step above acquaintance. Like you have had meaningful conversation, you hang out a lot, like you see each other a lot, you know, or maybe you're all in the same friend group, but maybe you're just not there with them yet, but you have the potential to be. But then I do think there's just acquaintance where it's like, okay, I see you at this place. I'm going to go say hi. We're going to chat. But it's like small chat. It's, you know, it might get a little deep sometimes, but I'm not calling this person in the event of something happening. I know they're not really calling me, that type of thing. Yeah.
Can I give a hot take?
Okay.
And it's kind of in response to what you just said.
Okay.
I think that men make friends easier than women. And I think we keep friends easier than women. Because of what you just said. I think men don't use the term friendship as loosely as women do.
Interesting.
I think men are okay with being acquaintances for a long time before stepping into friendship. So by the time we do step into friendship, there's trust. And I think at that point, then it's like, okay, like you're my bro now, you know? Whereas with women, I find because you guys dive in emotionally so quickly that there's like this perceived sense of meaning and friendship, but then all of a sudden, but you're not battle tested, you know? And then something happens and then betrayal and now cat fight or girl fight or, you know, like, but with guys, I think because we have so much time before like friendship of just being like buddies and surface that it's like, okay, I've been around you enough to know that like diving into friendship with you, there's some safety to it. But I don't think girls do that. So I think when guys get to friendship, I think we just keep it longer because we choose. We're more choosy for actual friendship. Like girls can meet each other and be like in the bathroom and be like, yes, girl.
That's true.
And now you're homies. Like, wait, you just met this person.
That's true. If you've ever experienced like girlhood at its peak, that happens in the bathrooms, the girls' bathrooms at bars. Like you will never feel so like encouraged and like seen and like hyped up
In the bathroom?
the girls' bathroom at a club or a bar. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What is happening
You
in
will
there?
walk out of that bathroom feeling like you are the hottest person in the world. You are invincible. You can do anything. You're like top tier.
Okay, but okay. Sorry.
Yo, the
Processing.
perplex on Shayna's face.
All I'm thinking is like, how long are you spending in this bathroom?
Irrelevant.
If I go in there, it's to pee and get out. We already know I'm triggered by bathrooms, so like I'm hightailing it out of there. And
True.
I don't understand why it has to be in the bathroom. I don't know why.
I know.
Like it's not clicking for me. I'm like,
It's just like
I'm missing an essential piece of girlhood that I'm never gonna get.
Like, I don't know.
You know what's probably missing from your experience? The alcohol.
Oh, that's part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But see, then to me,
And you know, but because then of that too,
yes,
like you don't have to be in there for a long time. You can be in there for 2 minutes, pee, wash your hands, check yourself in the mirror quick, and leave. And within that span of 2 minutes, all the other girls in that bathroom are like wasting no time. Like they will make sure that you are hyped up by the time you walk out.
I mean, I think that's really beautiful. And I personally think that we should all make it our mission to hype other people up. Genuinely. Like from the bottom of my heart, I believe that is so important. So I
agree.
love that.
And I wish that girls in like regular settings could do it to the level that drunk girls do in the girls' bathrooms. Because they do it the best.
Huh. But okay, I think it's interesting that we're bringing this up though, because that still doesn't make anybody your friend. That means that you met a nice girl.
Yeah.
But I feel like girls,
no, I'm
like
not
based
talking
on
about
what
friends,
you're saying though, because it almost sounds like, oh my gosh, like let's say you all leave the bathroom together. Suddenly you're not like, you're on the dance floor together, whatever happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like girls would be like, these are my friends. Like, and it's like, they're not. They're just some really sweet girls that you met.
Yeah.
Or they could be. I cringe saying that because I'm like, I feel bad saying that somebody isn't my friend. It feels like it's hurtful.
Interesting.
But but they're not. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think that friendship can be considered such a compliment that maybe that's why girls throw the term around so willy-nilly. Because we're thinking, I want this person to know that I like them. I want this person to know that I think they're cool. And so it's like, you're my friend. But it's just, you could just as easily say, I just want you to know I think you're really cool. Like, and that person would probably feel so seen and be like, oh, that was so nice of you. But yeah, I think maybe that's why we end up throwing the word friendship around, is because it's a compliment. And that's not really what friendship is supposed to be.
You know, I agree with that. Because when I think about it, yeah. Like I think about the word like love, for example. Girls will be like out here playing it fast and loose with the word love in relation to other girls. Like, oh my gosh, I love her.
Yeah.
Do you? Or do you just think that like her outfits are cool?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or like her hair or makeup always looks good. But do you actually like, oh my gosh, I love her? For real?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the same energy. That's like, yeah, we're friends.
Yes.
But like you probably aren't actually. Maybe you have potential to be. But in this moment,
absolutely,
you probably aren't.
It's maybe you're not there yet. And that's okay.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to get there, then get there.
Yes. So let's talk about how do you get there though? Because that was the initial point of the conversation.
Oh,
is like,
right. Just
how do you make friends? And so really quickly, just to give some context, I feel like my history, I've either been friends with people from when we were really, really little. For example, I have some other girlfriends, known them like literally, I don't remember not knowing these people. And we just lucked out in that we still get along really well. Like we have all this history together, yada, yada, yada. So the friendship is still fantastic. Or I have friends because I made friends with an introvert. And there's this one person, and I know she listened to this, she would know exactly. Oh, it's me. Like if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have half the friends I have. Because she was the extrovert.
You should look at her as you're saying it.
Should I call her out? I love you.
Nah, no, we're gonna bleep the name out.
Okay, she'll
And
know who it is.
she'll
She'll
know who
still
she
know
is.
it's her. But like, because, and I mean, we have this story where I thought she was so cool. She was friends with my brother, and I was like, oh, she's cool. I really like her. And my mom was like, go up to her and tell her you want to be friends. Like, very like 4-year-old vibes. And I was like, oh my gosh, should I? And I did. I was like, I just want you to know, like, I think you're really cool and I really like it if we could be friends. And we exchanged phone numbers.
Wait, that's actually really cute though.
And like, I love this girl
That's
with my
so
whole
cute.
heart. And because of her, some of like my closest girlfriends came from her too. Like, but again, that's a friend adopting me into her friend group. And then like, and I feel like with you, I've met a lot of really cool people because you guys have been like, come hang out with our friends. So, I mean, I guess if we're talking about tips, I would say find yourself an extrovert and latch because they'll do the rest of the work for you. They'll do the work. But I think making friends can be as simple as that. Saying, hey, I think you're really cool. Like, can we hang out? It sounds almost like dating, but I think there's a dating period in your platonic friendships.
I agree.
Where you have to suss the person out.
Yeah.
And talk for a bit and see like, are we on the same playing field right here? Are we compatible? What do you actually think friendship is? What do I think friendship is? And
are you going to be a high maintenance friend or are you going to be a low maintenance friend?
Yeah. And then I think there's friends that you have where, and I'm taking us back off topic. I'm sorry. There are friends that you have where you knew you were friends, but you didn't realize how deeply you valued their friendship until something happens or they responded to you in a certain way. And you're like, oh my goodness, like, I appreciate you with my whole heart. And so I do think that friendships need that time to blossom and grow. And so when I say we throw the word friendship around loosely, I'm not saying that if you can't tell that right off the bat, this person is like going to do blah, blah, blah in whatever situation. It doesn't mean you can't call them a friend. But I think that we should have that probationary period where you're getting to know somebody deeper. You hang out, you have some heart to hearts, and then you're like, you know what? I genuinely value you as a human, and I want us to be in each other's lives because I think it's going to be better. Like, I think we will improve each other's lives. Yeah, that's my.
You know what I think too is that we have to not be lazy about it. Because I think sometimes, especially as adults, we get into our like just patterns and routines and, you know, of doing things. And like sometimes, honestly, the idea of like, I'm kind of tired at the end of the week and like going home and just ordering a pizza and continuing to binge the show that I've been watching by myself in like my ugly sweats, like not even like the cute matching sweats, like the ones that have the stains on them.
Shout out Adam Sandler era.
Yeah. Like sounds really nice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. But if that's all that you do, then you're not going to make any friends.
But I mean, the Bible literally says that though. A man that hath friends must show himself friendly. Like it says it right there. I'm sorry, I never remember where my texts are from, but I know that's in the Bible. It's that idea of I have to put in something.
Yeah.
What do I just expect to sit here and everyone's going to flock to me and want to be like just this huge, like steadfast piece of my life? No, they have to be able to see that, you know what, this is somebody worth investing in as well. This is somebody who, well, now that I can see them interacting and out and about, I know that they're a cool person. You don't always just know that based on looking at somebody once. Like you can't.
And honestly, if spending your Friday nights like that is something that you really like actually enjoy doing, then like go find a friend who likes doing that too. And then you can sit there in your gross sweats together and eat a pizza and watch the show.
Yeah.
And be like alone together.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So, okay. We've established you need to be friendly too.
Yeah.
We've established that maybe you should suss out that probationary period with a friendship to make sure that you're, especially if you're trying to make friends in your adulthood and you want it to be a friend that lasts, like take your time with that process. Don't rush into it. Because what we don't want is friends falling off left and right and you being like, oh my gosh, what's wrong? Like, is it me? Whatever. But what else are practical things if you actually want to make more friends, I have a couple ideas, I think, but I want to hear.
Find your ecosystem.
Your ecosystem.
Yes.
Okay.
Because as kids, you meet friends at school. It's where you spend the most time. So as an adult, I think you need to decide what type of friends you would like, and then assess where these friends would be. So for us, we want Christian friends. We want friends that have the same values. So let's go be a part of an ecosystem of a church.
Yeah.
You know, if you're looking for sports buddies, go join a community sports team. If you want to find fitness girls, go join the Pilates thing. You know, you got to kind of put yourself in a environment that you can go to consistently, where you can see people consistently.
Like-minded people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that will also be in a space on a consistent basis. Because I don't think you can just go to like one place. Like some people might go to a church one time. I need friends. I'm going to go to the young adults group. They go once, don't find no friends, and stop going. You know? But you kind of have to like.
But it's like you went twice.
Yeah.
What did you think was going to happen?
You have to be a part of a ecosystem, environment, a community, so that people can get used to you. And then, you know, it's like being in a class. First day, some people might find friends, but usually if you're in a class and you don't know anybody day one, by the end of the year, that class in a way feels like a family.
So you're saying that in the beginning, when you first may not know each other that well, you're saying that proximity is helpful.
Yes.
Like consistent proximity.
Yes.
Because you're not going to go to a class one time, meet somebody, and then be like, hey, like, want to go out for like coffee tomorrow, and then want to go, you know, to this show like on Thursday, and then want to come over and do this thing, and then like,
No.
and then on the weekend we can go. Like, you're not going to do that, right?
No, that's overwhelming for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I would definitely say as an adult, because the question is, as an adult, how do you make friends?
Mm-hmm.
Step one, find your community. Find a community that you would like to be a part of, and then just go to it consistently.
Yeah. He took like almost verbatim my answer.
Oh, dang, my bad.
The only thing is I wasn't going to call it ecosystem, but I really like that terminology. I have other ones too, but shoot.
Mine was going to be similar too. Like if you have, because again, as an adult, we're a little bit more like set,
yes,
you know, in just ourselves and the things we like and don't like and do and whatever. So like, I don't know, if art is something that you really like and you're like, you know, wanting to learn more about it, then like maybe if you were to take an art class or something like that, you know, you could meet people who are also into that kind of thing, because again, common interests is important. And you could become friends, amazing friends with somebody who's like the total opposite from you. And that's great. It happens. But like, especially in the initial stages of becoming friends with somebody, having things in common is helpful. So like go somewhere where you're going to have things in common with people. Like you're there for a common purpose kind of thing, right? So art or Pilates
time is valuable as an adult.
That too.
So you want to invest it accordingly.
Yeah.
Kids have all the time in the world, so they can test out people and be like, meh. You know? But as adults, you don't have all the time. So investing in something you like and then meeting people who like the same thing and are investing their time in it, it's a good sign.
Yeah. What are yours?
Okay. First, I would say don't be afraid of getting rejected. And I mean, like, sometimes this sounds so much like dating. It's kind of funny, but it's okay to make the first move. Like, I will walk up to somebody and be like, hey, I really like your bag. Where'd you get it? Because I saw them. They seemed cool. I saw them interacting with other people. and they might just say, oh, like from so-and-so, and turn around. That has happened. But then sometimes they're kind of like, oh, and then like you, and then you kind of start up a little conversation. But if you didn't make that move and you're just like, they look kind of busy, or they look kind of this or kind of that, you're never going to get there. Like you got to put yourself out there somehow. And then I think, again, I think you have to try to show up to spaces authentically, not thinking I'm only here to make friends. So in that ecosystem kind of vibe we're talking about, show up because you actually want to be there. Show up because you're actually interested in art. Show up because, whatever your motivation is. And also know, if I'm showing up authentically, maybe I'll meet somebody who's also here authentically, and like God is going to do his thing. Like it'll be fine. But I feel like people can tell that you're like hunting for friends because you kind of come on a little strong.
This is so funny because it is in a dating context, but like that reminds me of like the guy who goes to the young adults group at a church, not because he actually really wants to be there, but because he's just lonely and like is trying to find a girl.
And you could spot him.
Yeah, because he's making the rounds.
Yeah.
Talking to everybody, making all the girls uncomfortable.
Yes.
You could smell him from a mile away.
It's the smell of desperation.
Yikes.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
I see that. Well, actually, and to that point.
And again, it becomes very inauthentic. You can tell.
You can tell. And what I was going to say to that is I think that sometimes, yes, to have friends, you have to show yourself as friendly. But I don't think that means show up as different than you typically would. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be extra loud if that's not what you would typically do in the situation. Like you could be so chill about things and still make a friend. I know I've seen it and I have fallen prey to it before where I feel like, well, people tend to like people that are such and such. So maybe if I try, and it doesn't last very long. You get tired of it. And then do you really want to build a basis of a friendship off of that? Like, no, you don't. So yeah, there's that. But I will say something that happened in my life. Because I went through a period where I felt very isolated. Like I had friends, but I think it's different to have like a friend versus maybe like a group of friends or something like that. And I was very much so wanting that. I mean, we already know I don't leave my house. So it's partly my fault as it is. And so two things had to happen. One, I did have to leave my house and start like going to events. Oh my gosh, no, utter travesty. But I did. And I prayed about it a ton. I was like, okay, Lord, this is how I'm feeling. This is the kind of friend I want. And I was like, you just have to send me one. And I know you're going to work from there. Just send me one. But really, really prayed about it. And it actually happened. And I know like some people might be like, hey, you're over spiritualizing it. But I truly believe it was because I prayed about it. Because I think the context in which I met those people and like the way our relationship has gone, I genuinely believe that God was like, okay, like but you have to know what you're actually looking for in a friendship. Because I think my idea of what I wanted in friendships has changed a lot. And so at first, I wanted a friend group just so I could feel like I had things to do and I had people to text because, I was sitting at home and it's like, I'm just here by myself. I have really, really great friendships. We don't text all the time. I mean, you and we've been close friends for years. We don't text all the time, like at all, because we don't need to. But I think I was looking for that and I was looking for a false idea of what friendship is supposed to be. Interesting. And I think that's why I wasn't getting it. Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Okay. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to phrase it so good.
No, that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like meaningful friendships that actually add value.
Yeah.
As opposed to just people that you can occupy your time with so that you're not just by yourself.
Yeah.
Very, very different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I agree. I think that the praying about it part is an important thing. I think that's a totally valid thing because at the end of the day, we're like social beings.
Yes.
And we're made to be in community, and we're made to have friendships, and God is the one who made us that way. That's a need that we have. And so, if he's the one who provides for us, then community and friendships are a part of that as well. So I think it makes total sense to me.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what else, though? Because while we are saying it's important, those friendships, that they're actually valuable and enriching and all those important things that make a long-lasting, healthy friendship, I think if you're just, let's say you moved somewhere new, or you just started going to new church, whatever that is, I think going into the idea of meeting people with the idea of like, what can I do for them, is actually kind of helpful. And I guess in a way that's like, well, how can I serve you? But I think when you're showing up a bit more earnestly, not like, do you want to be my friend? Oh my gosh, but like, again, that authentic, I'm showing up. I overheard you. You said you had a problem with such and such. Well, actually, I know how to blah, blah, blah. Like, I could help you if you want. Like, I think that there's often ways that we can become connected with people. But if you're just thinking about, oh, I have no friends, no one wants to hang out with me, I don't want this, I don't want that. It just becomes very inward centered, and of course you're not going to make friends. You're not thinking about other people. Do you know what I mean? So
I agree. I think, again, kind of going back to like a romantic sense, but I think that people in romantic relationships sometimes approach it that same way too, which is like again, kind of more of a me-centered approach, and what's in it for me, and like, what can I get out of this, and how are you adding value to my life, or how are you meeting my needs, and are my, like, am I feeling fulfilled, am I like, you know what I mean? And like, not that is entirely unimportant, but like, if that is kind of all that you're looking for, or like all that you're gauging the relationship by, be it platonic friendship or relationship, I just think that that's really unfortunate, and like, you're missing out on a whole lot.
Yeah.
And if you approach it that way, then you're probably missing out on what maybe actually could be a good relationship or friendship, if you just kind of like looked beyond yourself a little bit.
Definitely.
Yeah. Not that the opposite should be true, where you feel overlooked in a friendship, but anyway.
No, but we're talking about making the connection.
Yeah.
It's a whole other ballgame when it's, how do I continue to assess if this is a healthy friendship, that just that it's healthy. Because I think in desperation to have friends, sometimes we end up in unhealthy friendships, and friendships that you're not growing very well, or that other person isn't growing very well. Sometimes one of you can be a great friend for the other person, and it's not
Mutual.
It's not mutual at all.
Like, you're their friend, but they're not
totally
your
not
friend.
yours. Yeah. And it's so easy to stay in that and think, well, this is just how it is. And to an extent, I think it can be okay to just stay there, because you know that like you're a lifeline for that person. You know that they need the extra support, whatever it is. But I think it says something about, I think the idea of almost pruning your friendships is not a bad thing.
I don't think so either. And I think in the situation that you just described, I think if that's the case, then it's important to recognize that relationship for what it is, and then create a little bit of a
boundary.
A little bit of a boundary and an expectation maybe within yourself of like what this actually is realistically. Because otherwise, then I feel like it turns into a platonic situationship.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Which is no different than a romantic situationship.
Yeah.
Where like, this is not actually beneficial. This is not actually healthy. Both of us are trying to like grasp at what we can from the other person to make our own selves feel better. But this is not really going anywhere. Like we're occupying our time with each other, but this is not actually amounting to anything.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like you can have platonic situationships.
I like that. I actually very much so agree.
Yeah.
Actually, because we've brought up relationships a few times. Do you think it's easier to get yourself into a romantic relationship or like a really strong platonic friendship?
Say it again.
Yeah.
Like, do you think it's easier? How would I rephrase that? No, I'll just say it again exactly. Do you think it's easier to get into a relationship or a friendship?
Like a romantic relationship or a
Yes.
friendship?
Yeah, because they're both relationships.
Yeah.
But I'm talking a romantic relationship. Do you think it's easier
What
to
type
get?
of a romantic relationship?
That's too deep for the question. I just want like your initial like.
To me, that matters though. Because are we talking about like a healthy romantic relationship or are we talking about like a physical, like just.
I'm talking, let's say for context, again, you move to a new place. You
Okay.
don't know many people. You might not even know anybody. Do you think you could manage to get yourself into a romantic relationship sooner than like a ride or die friendship?
Yes. For me, at least. Romantic.
You think that would be easier?
For me personally, yes.
Interesting. Okay, why?
Because I grew up with women. So making friends with women is like second nature to me. And I don't want that to sound like weird toxic boy type stuff, but like legit. Right? So I think with dudes, the type of friend that I am, unless the guy is like me in that sense, it would take a lot longer to get to that level of friendship than it would for me with a woman, because I just grew up I grew up around women. So I'm for a guy, I'm pretty quick to go into like deep emotional talk.
Yeah, you are. But do you think that's because, like what you just described, do you think that that means that you have an easier time trusting women quicker than what it takes you to build trust with another guy?
Not me. I think the guy would take longer to trust me to where it's a mutual give and take. And then personally, because I'm a dude, like if I'm single and then I'm friends with this girl and we're talking that deep, I'm gonna catch feelings.
That's a whole other can of worms that we have to talk about one day.
So for me personally, the answer is romantic.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. Oh wait, do you have a thought, or do you want me to?
I think for me it would probably be platonic, because I'm thinking if it's a situation where I've moved somewhere completely new and I don't know anybody, then I'm probably going to feel a little bit like, unsettled or like not uneasy, but maybe uneasy. Like I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
So I think that I would probably go and seek out a friendship before I would feel comfortable getting involved in a romantic relationship.
Okay.
Because that feels a lot more like vulnerable in a way. And if I'm already feeling unsettled and kind of vulnerable because I'm in a completely new setting, then that just might be too much.
Okay.
I don't know.
So,
what's your answer?
I will tell you. I think so. For myself personally, I know it would be easier for me to make a platonic friendship. We're not surprised, but I think a lot of people will find it easier to form a romantic relationship rather than a platonic friendship because of how we approach romantic relationships. Again, you're more willing to put yourself out there, shoot your shot, knowing you could get rejected. Like that's just very normal. in a romantic sense. I think you're being way more intentional when it comes to romantic stuff. Like you're like, ooh, I like that person. I'm attracted to them. Let me go talk to them. If it's a friend situation, you're like, that person seems
That's
so
a really
cool.
good point.
I should go talk to them. Nah.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow when it's like you're attracted to them, it's like, I'm going to go right now. Like, I think if we applied the way that you approached dating relationships to friendships, a lot of us would have a lot more friends.
Good take.
Thank you. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so I think you could end up in a romantic relationship. A lot of people could anyway end up in a romantic relationship easier. Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Thank you.
I think the intentionality part, I agree with. I didn't think of that.
Yeah. And so, I mean, with the intentionality part, I think being for me, the biggest thing that I would say is the difference. That's what I would suggest for friendships. Like if you want to make friends, not to be strategic, but to be intentional about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because strategic, again, reads not as genuine, yada, yada, yada. But if you're intentional about it, you are going to place yourself in certain situations, those ecosystem type things. You are going to be willing to take the risk and go talk to somebody. You are going to be intentional about like that sussing out stage and being like, hey, do you want to hang out? Like, I'm going to go here. Do you want to come with? Like, you will realize that there are more opportunities for you to make friends than you thought there were before.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know what we should do?
What?
The questions.
Oh.
So people can get to know us.
In our friendship?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's do it.
Or just maybe want to be friends with us.
Oh, if you want to be friends with us. Hey.
We're very open.
Very much so. I love that. I want to be friends with people. Okay. So we have some questions that we're going to ask each other so you guys can get to know us better and we can uncover things about each other. Well, let's go. We'll start off with this one. What is a core memory that you have from our friendship? And to clarify, not like it doesn't have to be that made our friendship, but just something that happened along the journey of our friendship because we've established it's been long.
Yeah.
It's been like, we said, what? Did we say it was 25 years? Or 24?
Yeah.
One of the two. So just something like a core memory that happened.
Okay, I have two.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. The first one is when we were, both of them are from when we were like little.
Yeah.
But being at your old house.
Yes.
That you used to live at here. And watching High School Musical in your living room.
So good.
That was
we
like
beat that
peak.
Movie to the ground.
Oh, completely. And I still would.
Yeah.
I still would.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And to that effect, this was not mine, but do you remember my mom would tell us to like slide back and forth up and down the floor on our backs?
I was literally just going to say that.
We thought it was so much fun, but like low key, she knew we were polishing her floors and my mom's clean lady. So she's like, go for it. But we would like, scurry back and forth, like sliding around on our backs. Like, and just like giggling and having so much fun that we'd like watch High School Musical. Yeah. And like, it was always a whole thing. It was so fun. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one.
The floor one is another one too. Yeah. So we would lie on our backs with our like knees up like this
and like scoot ourselves on the floor.
Yeah, like push ourselves around like that.
I don't know why it was so fun, but it was.
Because when you're a kid, you like moving around in weird ways. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah, that was
I like that one. That's a good one. What else?
Oh, I remember the first time that your mom gave me veggie hot dogs.
That went down so bad.
To this day.
So bad.
Your mom is such a good cook, and I have never not liked anything that she made.
Yes.
And in her defense, these were not homemade. These were like store-bought veggie hot dogs. But I just remember I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I don't know what it was. If it was the texture or the taste, I don't remember. But veggie hot dogs are on my
That's your hit
on my
list.
bad
You're like,
list.
absolutely no.
No, can't do it.
And you're very open to trying anything.
I'm the least picky eater.
Yeah, but that I do remember that.
That's
you were
a hard
like
no.
immediately just you're like, ugh.
I can't.
It's
Cannot. Okay, my other one though.
Yes.
This one is so funny to me.
Oh no, what is it?
And I don't know why. Okay. So this was like at the age when we were like just starting to like wear bras.
Okay.
Okay, do you remember?
I have no idea where you're going with this.
Do you remember that pink bra that you had from Licenza Girl?
That sounds very much like me to have something from Licenza
And
Girl.
it had like and it was pink.
Okay.
And like not quite a hot pink, but like in between like a Barbie pink and a hot pink. And it had a blue heart on the one cup.
Don't remember this at all.
Really?
No. What?
Oh my gosh. Okay, no, I remember.
That's so funny.
I don't know what it was. You know, it was like at that age where like you're starting to like compare yourself like developmentally to other girls, you know? And like aware of the fact that like some might be like developing faster or slower than you are.
Okay.
And I don't know what it was, but you had this bra. And it was like an actual bra, which is so funny because it was like a size like AAA.
Well, I'm shocked.
So it was like a bra made for like a little girl with no boobs.
Okay, because I'm like, this is not checking out with what I know my developmental pattern.
No, it was like literally like a AAA bra.
Okay.
But it was like padded.
Okay.
Like a little bit, like padded. And it had underwire.
So
it was like a bra, you know?
Why don't I remember? I'm so mad that I don't remember this.
That's so funny to me. Yeah. And I like, for me, like, you know, at the time, like I only had like the little training bras or like, you know, like the little like bralette,
almost like a camisole
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I remember seeing that and I was like, oh my gosh.
I wish I rememred.
Shaina has a real bra.
How did I even? What? Okay, I love that though.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
I don't know why entirely it stood out to me so much in the moment or like why that's something that has stuck around in my memory. But
yes,
yeah, I remember being like, oh my gosh, like that's so cool.
I love that. That's
and
actually
it's from
hilarious.
Licenza Girl.
Listen, Licenza Girl. That was my spot, bro.
That was such a good spot.
Well, so I can't believe they're, and I literally remember where it was in the mall. And every time we walked past that spot, I don't remember what store's there now, but I'm always like, there was Licenza Girl.
Yeah.
I love Licenza Girl.
I know.
Yeah. Ugh,
I remember like the, well, this wasn't an exclusive Licenza Girl thing, but like the tracksuits that would have like the writing like right here across or like on the butt.
Yeah.
You know?
Like
and
the
that was
velour
like,
material.
Yeah.
Good times.
I really want a juicy tracksuit.
Same. We should get matching ones.
We should get matching ones.
I would love that.
I would actually die for a juicy tracksuit.
Well, we should get matching ones, but in different colors to match our aesthetics. So what
obviously.
What color are you getting?
Probably black.
And I'm probably what?
Gonna get pink.
Yeah.
Golden retriever, black cat.
There we go. Yeah. No, we should do that. That'd be so fun.
I would love that. That would actually be so funny.
Yeah. But I have to find like a pale pink. Like pink. Not
no,
like a
not
fuchsia.
like no.
Nothing wrong with fuchsia, but not for a tracksuit and not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We should look them up later.
Okay.
I'm actually so serious. I want one.
Okay. But wait, were there any more core memories? Or were those your two main ones?
I mean, probably. That's a big one. Oh, you know what's another one is you trying to wax my legs.
That was
in my parents' bathroom.
my list. That was in my list.
Yeah.
Actually, to that effect, a core memory I have is I remember you came over to come to church with us. I don't remember why. Something special was happening. Or was it my birthday? I don't remember, but you were there with us. And I remember you were in this like cute little floral dress. We were so excited to go. We're about 11 at the time. Okay. And I specifically remember us standing on the front porch again at that old house. And I had my cute little dress on too, but I wasn't wearing stockings. And you were. You were wearing white stockings.
Oh my
And you started complaining. You're like, I am so hot. And I was like, so take your stockings off. Like, let's just go throw them in my room. And you're like, I can't because you're like, I can't because my legs are hairy and my mom won't let me wax them yet. And I was like, what? But like, keeping in mind, like very Indian hair was happening for you at the time. Like you had thick black, but it had never really occurred to me that it was on your legs. And I remember going, show me. So you grabbed your stockings and like pulled them tight. And I remember going, whoa. And I just remember it being like this thing where I was like, I literally told my mom later, I was like, Priya really wants to shave her legs, but her mom won't let her.
I was probably so distraught too.
No, you were big mad too. You were like, the dress would just look so much cuter if I wasn't wearing stockings. Like, you're not wearing stockings. It was this whole thing.
Oh
and
my gosh.
I don't know why that stuck out to me so much, but it did. And I think then having us like years later, me like waxing your legs in your parents' bathroom.
Full circle moment.
In your bathroom. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So funny.
I need to find that picture.
Yes. I know you have it somewhere in the archives.
I do.
Yeah. But other core memories.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
I vividly remember the conversation of what you telling me about your first kiss. Like, I remember exactly how the conversation went down. I remember we were sitting on the floor in your bedroom and we hadn't seen each other in a bit because you had been like, we'd been busy over the summer. And I came in and you were like, Shaina, like so much happened. And I was like, oh my gosh, what? And we sat down like cross-legged on your floor and you're telling me all this stuff. And then you go like, I also had my first kiss. And I was like, huh? I specifically, and I will never forget that moment ever. I just remember exactly how it went down. Yeah. So there was that.
Sometimes I wish that current me and little me could have a conversation.
Oh my gosh. How fascinating.
It's moments like that make me wish we could just have a chat.
Yeah, it'd be so fun.
I just want to talk.
It would be. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
It was. And then I think the last core memory I have was our first like fight where our parents had to get involved, which bearing in mind, I can't really think of any time we fought other than that. Like, I feel like we had our one big fight. We were like 9, 8. We were very young. And it was a very big misunderstanding where I thought you didn't want to be my friend anymore. You thought I didn't want to be your friend anymore. I don't remember why we got mad at each other. I think there was a third party involved, but I digress. And do you know what I think you just had your moment?
Yes. So.
And I remember I went home sobbing. Apparently you went home sobbing. And your dad called my mom and was like, I don't understand what's happening. Like, Priya's here sobbing that Shaina doesn't want to be her friend anymore. And my mom's like, well, Shaina's here sobbing that Priya doesn't want to be her friend anymore too. So like, what's happening? And they had to like stage an intervention for us.
Had to parent trap us?
Definitely, yes. And after that, I don't really remember us like, I cannot picture a time we've like fought.
I don't think so.
But to be fair, in most of my friendships, actually in all of them, I can't think of fighting with somebody.
No.
I feel like if we didn't agree with something with each other, we'd be like, okay, but like, here's what I think.
Yeah.
And it has never escalated beyond that. So, friend, I appreciate you. Thank you for being a non-argumentative person. I love you. Thank you for many years of friendship.
Friends, honestly.
Yeah.
Low maintenance friends are the best.
They are.
That's so funny. Okay, next question.
What's your biggest ick?
Oh my gosh. That's so hard to pick like one biggest one.
Yes.
Because I feel like there's just so many like little icks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard. I don't like it when people are just like unnecessarily crabby.
Okay.
Like for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, why? You know?
Yeah. It's for what?
For what?
Do you feel better?
For what? Right. Oh my gosh. It makes me want to cut my ears off.
Whoa, sis. Whoa.
When people say irregardless.
I can confirm.
Cut your ears off?
That's maybe not cut my ears off.
That's some Peter type behavior.
But I want to just like plug my, like, irregardless.
Okay, well, irregardless of that. Okay. You know what?
I hate it, and I don't know why I hate it so much. But every time somebody says it, I'm like, that is not
Like,
a
it's
word.
redundant.
Yeah.
I feel as though I'm quite gentle with people with that. But if I ever catch myself, because sometimes it slips out because you're so used to hearing other people say it, I'm like mortified. But I find, I'll let it slide with other people. I'm like, you know what? It was an accident. But my version of that is when people say not Valentine's, when they'll say like, Happy New Year's. It's Happy New Year. Did you enjoy your New Year's? No, I enjoyed my New Year. Like there's a place to use New Year's and a place
like
to
a
use
New Year's
Year.
party.
Right. Like the apostrophe
But you're bringing
S
in
is
the new
possessive.
year.
So what are we doing? Like, why are we saying just New Year's? Like, no, stop. So that's my version of that.
I think that's so funny. I think it's like a lot of like little grammar things.
Grammar things?
For me too. Like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But irregardless is a big one.
Okay.
You know what's so funny? Oh my gosh, this is such like a weirdly specific example.
Do tell.
But the other day I was scrolling through Instagram and I don't know, some like video or whatever from Jackie Hill Perry came up.
Love her.
And she said, yeah, same. But she said irregardless. But because she's such a word person, that in that moment I was like so disappointed. Like one, it like stung my ears when she said it, just like as a word. But then I was like, and from you?
You're like, I expected better, Jackie.
Better. Like, I'm so disappointed right now.
So
out here saying irregardless.
Listen, let her live. That is so funny.
Yeah. That's one of them.
Okay.
I don't know. I probably have more, but
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you 2.
Okay.
My major ick, like to top all icks, is when people, and this is very similar to yours, but when girls, I'll call it out, girls specifically, are rude to other girls and they didn't really have a reason as to why. In fact, just being rude in general, because even if somebody peeved you, even if somebody did something, like you don't have to stoop to their level. And so I don't like when girls are petty rude with other girls. But I also, as a general statement, I'm really icked out when people are snappy with people or they're just rude or inconsiderate. It deeply bothers me. Like it pains me. I'm like, why are we doing that? And I get it happens sometimes, like we're human and like sometimes you just like it just comes out. But if you didn't like be like, wait, I'm sorry. Or like, I don't know. Or if I notice it consistently, I'm just like, you've been cut off. Like, I really don't appreciate it. And then my other biggest ick is when people leave things to soak in the sink. You do not need to soak things.
It's true.
You
don't.
Yeah. Like to me, something is burnt. Fill it with water, clean up the rest of the kitchen. By the time you're done, I promise you'll be able to wash it. Or take the kettle water, life hack, boil your kettle, pour it into whatever it is that you think quote unquote needs to soak. Give it 5 minutes tops. And you're fine. So that like, I get really mad. I'm like, why are we doing this?
That's so funny.
As a former chef, I can confirm that it doesn't need to soak.
It doesn't.
Overnight. That's cap.
No, not like overnight. No.
I think that it's disguised laziness.
It is.
Yeah.
It's 100%.
Yeah.
laziness.
It's like, I don't want to deal with this right now. It's soaking. It's
soaking.
not.
Yeah.
It's not. But yeah.
And if it's not coming clean after you've like soaked it for the 15 minutes or whatever, then it probably means that like you need to do like one of those other cleaning things to it.
Yeah, like some steel wool or something.
Yeah. Or like what's the other one? Like the vinegar and the
baking soda?
Yeah. You know?
Yeah, like you just need some more elbow grease. But that's the thing. It's just you need more elbow grease, not that it needs to soak to like help itself. Like, no. Anyway.
Clean yourself.
Yeah, like can we not?
That's really funny.
Yeah. Okay.
You look really distraught by that one.
I am. It's honestly neck and neck with people being rude or unkind to other people for me, which is
So, like,
wild.
Imagine somebody rudely telling you
To soak
that
something.
it has to soak.
The
That
way
would
I would
send you over
levitate
the
out of the
edge.
room, I would just be like, bye. Yeah. Sayonara, see you never.
That's so funny.
Erasing this from my memory, all of that.
Blocked.
Jail. Guilty, Your Honor. What's
25 to life.
Yeah. What's an essential part of your daily routine?
My skincare routine.
Ooh. Walk us through it. You know the girlies want to know.
Like everything else, the day can be whatever.
Yes.
But I have to do my skincare routine.
Yeah.
I have to. Like,
how many
all the
steps?
steps.
Like, go on.
All the steps? How many?
Or
okay.
No, go.
I've chilled out.
Huh?
Because I used to be one of those people that had like
12 steps.
Like the whole 10, 12 step thing. And I mean, time and place. If you really, really need that, then like, okay. But let's see. Six.
Okay.
If I'm not exfoliating.
Okay. And when we say exfoliating, is this a chemical exfoliant or a manual exfoliant?
Oh. Like 9 times out of 10, it's a chemical exfoliant.
Gotcha.
I'm not a huge believer in physical exfoliants.
Me
for your
neither.
face, at least.
Right. I agree.
Put the St. Ives apricot scrub
That
down.
ruined
Let it die.
my skin.
Let it fade into oblivion.
We don't need her.
It's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I feel about scrubs.
Okay. All right. So the skincare, it's got to happen. Is this like a non-negotiable, or just like if you didn't get to do your full skincare, you feel off the whole day? Like, what's the vibe?
Like, I just don't like the way that my skin feels.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's also non-negotiable.
Yeah.
There's not been a day since we've lived together that you have not.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
A single day. We can get home at 4 a.m. for whatever reason.
I will be
She is
washing my
tired,
face.
and she will go do her whole skincare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, honestly, and I've always been like that, so much so that, like, in my past life, I've gotten home at like 2:33, whatever, in the morning, just hammered. And I still managed to wash my face and do my
skincare
routine. And yeah.
We love a consistent queen.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I cannot. Like, the feeling, even the idea of going to sleep in my makeup makes my skin crawl. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
I think you should actually give the routine.
Yeah.
Cleanser. Nighttime or morning?
Let's do morning to start.
Morning. Okay, well, I have really, really dry skin. So I don't use a cleanser in the morning. I only use a cleanser at night.
Okay.
So it's wash my face with water in the morning. Then it's a vitamin C serum. Then a peptide and hyaluronic acid serum. Then it's my snail mucin serum, which I will use until the day I die.
I'm so scared of that stuff, but you swear by it.
It is the best thing. And like, not to be that person. It's the CosRX like snail mucin serum. And not to be that person, but I've been using it since before it like blew up on TikTok and everyone was like, oh my gosh, gotta have it.
No,
anyway.
Be that person. I love being ahead of the trend. Say it with your chest. You knew about it before.
I did.
Yeah. Go ahead. Continue.
And so it's that. Then it's my eye cream.
Okay.
And then moisturizer.
Okay.
Oh, sunscreen. I forgot sunscreen.
Does sunscreen happen before or after moisturizer?
Sunscreen should always be your last step.
Okay.
Always.
I'm glad I'm doing it right.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it.
Yeah.
And is your nighttime routine very different or is it similar?
No. Nighttime is cleanser.
Okay.
Exfoliate if I'm going to exfoliate.
Yeah.
Also,
I want to know what exfoliant
like
you're using though, because if it's a chemical exfoliant, I feel like people are always curious about that. So what exfoliant is it?
I have 2.
Okay.
That I go back and forth between. So I have one from Dr. Jart, and it's an AHA BHA situation. But then I have another one that I've been using for years that I love, and it's by a brand called Amore Pacific, and they don't sell it in Sephora anymore, and I don't know why.
Oh.
and I'm running out, so I'm gonna have to buy some soon
Okay.
from somewhere.
Figure that out.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's so good. It's an enzyme exfoliant, and it's one of those ones that's in a powder, like kind of thing.
And then you have to like
activate
it?
like a little bit in like wet hands, and then it like foams and lathers and whatever.
That's nice.
Yeah, I love that one. I love both of them, but that's what I use.
Nice.
Yeah. So cleanse, exfoliate. Then at nighttime, it's a retinol serum. And then I do the same peptide hyaluronic acid serum. Then the snail mucin again. And then eye cream and moisturizer.
Okay. Love it.
That's the routine.
Okay.
Fun fact for the listeners, Priya, as a makeup artist, has extensive knowledge on skincare.
You really, actually, on product in general, she knows
I
so
could talk
much.
for days.
Is what she does. Like,
you should do a master class.
I would say you're a master at.
You should do another one. Yeah.
Own that.
I love it. It's so fun to me.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Like the Sephora sale is like currently happening. I start building my basket in the app like weeks before.
Whoa. I don't know what's happening until it's like halfway over and I'm realizing people are doing hauls.
It's
and I'm
the
like,
whole event.
Oh no.
I look forward to it.
It's like Priya's WrestleMania.
Oh, that's a good comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my Super Bowl. It's my, I don't know, I'm not a sports girly. What are the other ones? Stanley Cup.
Is that what it's called? Stanley Cup?
No, you could have just stopped
for
at the
hockey.
Super Bowl. You could have stopped at the Super Bowl.
It's my Super Bowl. I love it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the routine.
Okay.
What's yours?
My skincare routine?
Yeah.
So
I actually don't know.
Really?
Which is shocking that I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like all up in everyone's skincare business.
You really
so
are.
I'm really shocked that I don't know what yours is.
Okay, let me tell you.
Okay.
So we start off. My morning. Yeah, my morning and evening skincare routines are very different. Well, no, it's not that they're very different, actually. But I don't cleanse in the morning. I just cleanse at night as well.
Yeah.
And so in the morning, I start off with like a niacinamide toner. And then I move on. It depends on what I'm doing that day. If I have to be like out and about on camera in some way, like for example, like seeing virtual clients and my light is shining on me, then I will use a hyaluronic acid essence. And then follow that up with a peptide serum. I use the one from Rhode. I'm obsessed with it. It's so great.
Interesting.
And then I use this discoloration serum from Good Molecules.
Okay.
Because I struggle with hyperpigmentation. If I get a single spot on me, it's staying forever. So
what
I
is
use
it?
that.
Like what's the active in it?
I don't remember. Yeah. See, that's only a question you would ask.
I want to know.
The active? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. The pictures looked good online.
And in my head, I'm like running down the list of like ingredients that it could be.
But so I do. Okay. So it's the toner, the essence, or I will use the Rhode glazing milk, which again is just like peptides and ceramides and all that.
It's a serum.
Yes.
Basically.
I love it. But again, that's if I'm going for more hydrated that day.
Okay.
Then the discoloration serum, my ceramide serum, and then I will finish off with just a light moisturizer and sunscreen. I love the Supergoop sunscreen. It is my favorite. In the evening, I
refuse to buy it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, listen, my options are limited because a lot of sunscreens leave a really bad white cast on me. So it was that or the Black Girl sunscreen, which I do really like, but I found it was a bit clogging on my skin.
Interesting.
And also like I have to get it from the US and it's this whole process.
I have to get my sunscreen from the US too.
Yeah. So that's why I kind of just like the Supergoop unseen. It doesn't show up on me in a bad way and it helps mattify. Because the thing is my skin ends up looking, and I'm so thankful for this, but my skin can be very, very dewy and glowy.
I love that you said that instead of oily.
Oh, thank you.
I love that you said that.
Yeah, thanks. But you know what though? I don't really know if it doesn't feel oily. It just feels like the product, like it'll look very like, you know what I mean? But yeah. So I find that helps tone it down a tiny bit. In the evening, I will use a glycolic acid toner after I've cleansed my face. And usually I'll either use some like just a basic toner or cleanser from CeraVe. CeraVe, whatever.
Michael Cera. Brilliant marketing, by the way.
Yeah.
That whole thing was brilliant. Did you see that?
No, I don't think I did.
What? Okay, so Michael Cera. You know who Michael Cera is, right?
No.
Oh my gosh. How do I describe who Michael Cera is?
To Shaina? I don't think you can.
I don't know how to.
I don't think you're watching movies with Michael Cera in it.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
probably not. Okay, well, anyway.
Is this a guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he's one of those, like, he kind of gets, like, typecasted as, like, how would you describe his character? As, like, the kind of, like, nerdy-ish white guy?
Yeah, lame.
You said, yeah, lame.
Yeah, no, but, like, those are usually his kind of
Roles?
characters.
Okay.
Anyway, but his name was Michael Cera, and his last name was literally
Did he pass
spelled.
away?
No, is.
Oh, I thought you
Did
said
I say was?
You did say was.
Oh, no, I meant is.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah, that's him.
Is he?
Oh, he was. Oh my gosh, why didn't I think of this?
Movie person?
No.
He played. He played what's his face in the Barbie movie.
Oh, the one Ken that wasn't named Ken.
Yeah, what's his name? Oh my god, which is so ironically the whole point that no one can think of his name.
Was it Brian or something? Brad. It wasn't a cool name. I bet it was Brian. Anyway, okay. Now I know who you're talking about, but I haven't seen any movie with him besides the Barbie movie.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, his last name is spelled Cera.
Oh.
So it's like he did this whole thing with like CeraVe, where it's like Michael CeraVe kind of thing.
Oh,
anyway, it was really clever. It was really, really funny.
I love when brands like come up with a really clever marketing.
It just like lean into the like pop culture.
It's like you may as well.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
So funny.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry. Continue.
So I'll cleanse glycolic acid toner. Every other night, I will go straight from the toner to, again, the discoloration serum and then a gentle retinol.
Mm-hmm.
And then follow it up with my vitamin E moisturizer.
Mm-hmm. On
the other nights, I do the same thing, except instead of that serum, I'll use a lactic acid serum. It's from Sunday Riley. It's called Good Genes. I hate that I love this thing so much because it's so expensive. It's so expensive.
It is good though.
It is so good. Like to the point where I stopped using it and I immediately noticed and I was like, oh shoot. Like I'm locked in.
What is a lactic acid serum? Because I've always known lactic acid to be that thing.
In milk?
No, in your muscles after the gym.
Oh.
Like when you work out.
Isn't it not in milk though?
Or is that lactose? No, but then I guess lactic acid would be in milk too.
I just know when.
But a different kind. I don't know.
You work out.
Yeah.
Like when your arms feel like noodly.
Yes.
That's lactic acid. That's making it feel that way.
Hold on, please hold.
So like, does your face get noodly?
No, your face does not get noodly.
So it's supposed to be used kind of as like an exfoliant. It helps with smoothing or softening skin. It's good for dry skin because it offers hydration benefits, which is mostly why I use it because I actually have really dry skin.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah, like I get flaky if I'm not careful. And then it's also supposed to, again, be good for hyperpigmentation, which is mainly why I started using it because it has gentle exfoliation properties.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do that. And then I use the Topicals Faded Serum, which is like, we love a Black-owned business. It's a Black-owned business specifically for hyperpigmentation because I just really struggle with that. So I use those and then end off with, again, the moisturizer, vitamin E moisturizer, always at night.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I do.
I should clarify, I don't exfoliate every night. Or use retinol
every night.
Every night.
Yeah.
Because there's some ingredients that you don't want to mix.
You don't want to mix and all that. Yeah. I want to start adding in a vitamin C serum. I just don't know which one to use.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that. So my non-negotiable though, otherwise, so skincare, I would say is one of mine too. If I didn't make my bed, something is really wrong with me. Like I am on the brink of something, like something not good.
A meltdown.
Because I will like forgo eating to make my bed. I will forgo something else important because it's like how dare I leave the house and not make my bed? Like, ugh, it literally gives me the most uncomfortable feelings. It has to be made.
Interesting. Can't relate.
No, it's ugh. And then my final non-negotiable, I have to do some sort of devotional. So if it's like my go-to perfect situation is like my Bible study, my prayer journal, but that takes like an hour. And so if I accidentally slept through my alarm or something like that and I have to abbreviate it, I hate when that happens, but occasionally it does. I'll do the prayer journal and I'll read like a short devotional rather than like hunting through my Bible. But yeah, those things need to happen. And if they don't, I'm just not a good human. So yeah, those are those.
Like you don't feel like you're going to have a good day.
Yeah. And I just feel like I don't show up as my best self. I feel like I could be kinder. I could be nicer. I could be more calm. And it doesn't, like, I'm just off that day. I don't know if other people notice it, but I do. So
interesting.
Yeah. All right. Last question. Yes. What is a TV show or the most recent TV show you binged?
Ooh. Well, I'm forever binging Friends.
That's your comfort show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like on constant rotation. But aside from that, the last show that I binged. Ooh, I have been rewatching Criminal Minds.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you at? Where are you at right
now? Season 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you know what it was? I watched the most recent season because they like revamped it, like they came back kind of thing. So I watched all of that season, but then it made me be like, like I kind of want to go back.
Yeah.
So yeah. So now I just like started back right from the beginning.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
No,
all those like crime, like cop shows, whatever.
You rate
I
it?
love it.
Yeah.
That's like my thing.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, I don't
You
really
don't
like
binge shows.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really have a hard time binging.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel yucky. I don't enjoy the experience as much. But the problem with that is it takes me forever to get through a show because I often forget about it for weeks at a time.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not that much of a cliffhangery person. Like I don't really care. So if we're gonna say the last show I watched the Life with the Walter Boys, which is like a teen comedy romance, but like
I watched that too.
I need to know if you agree with this.
That's the one with Donna from Suits in it, by the way, that we watched together.
So cute.
You remember that one?
Huh?
Do you remember the show we watched about the girl who goes to live with that family after her mom and sister die?
And dad.
Yeah.
Sis got whipped out.
After her whole family dies. And the family that she goes to live with, the mom in it is played by oh my gosh, what's her name? Sarah something. Yeah. The mom in it is Donna from Suits.
Oh, with that annoying blonde kid?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the two brothers are like fighting over her.
Yeah, the blonde annoying one.
Yeah, that's
was, like,
the show.
Angsty and just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, bro,
You gotta
relax.
have one angsty teenage character.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the character that the girl likes.
Mm-hmm. Well,
don't get me started.
Because
I'm over it.
Okay, a little like side note if you've seen that show, because who would you say was angsty? Would you say it was Alex or wait, what was the other kid's name?
I don't remember. Yeah.
The blonde
one
they
who
both
did
were.
football. He was Cole and then Alex. But Alex started off not angsty to me. And so I was team Alex all the way. And then he started to get angsty and I was like, ew, ick, no. And then I was like, team Cole. But like Cole still gives me the, like, I'm still sus about him too. Either way, I don't like when somebody starts to get angsty. I immediately, just,
He didn't get angsty. He got jealous.
But I don't like that type of behavior.
Yeah.
Just like generally. And I call it all angst because he's a teenager.
Got you.
Yeah. But that's the last show I watched. I did not binge it.
Okay.
But I needed a low stakes show because I find that I can get, if it's really stressful, then my TV time wasn't enjoyable. Like I leave stressed. So I was like, okay, I need something like no buildings are burning down. Like
Yeah.
presidents are not coming down to their knees.
Yeah.
Like
Low
happening.
emotional commitment.
Yeah. And so that was Life with the Walter Boys. It was cute. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The last show I actually binged was Love is Blind season 6. And I mean like 2 episodes in one sitting, maybe 3.
Which for you is a binge.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So much fun that season. It was great. It was chaotic.
Nuts.
And Love is Blind is not what it used to be, but
No.
I don't like dating shows where it feels like competitions between people. So
Yeah.
when there's any sort of challenge or activity where you could get points, I immediately don't want to watch it. I don't know what it is. I just hate it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have a lot of comfort shows that I will rewatch, but that's the last thing I like binged.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm the same way about dating shows though. I hate them.
Yeah.
Or like not even like, I feel like it's even a stretch to call them dating shows, but like The Bachelor, Bachelorette, I've never been able to get into it.
I don't think I've ever seen more than an episode at a time.
I personally don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
What else? The like Too Hot to Handle kind of shows, like those ones where like it actually has nothing to do with like dating or whatever. It's just like you just put a bunch of like good looking horny people together at a resort who like also are really actually just trying to be like famous influencers, and that's why they're really there.
I want like 2 genuine people to like fall in love. I'm a very diehard romantic. Like I want to see you get swept off your feet.
Yeah.
You need to watch Love on the Spectrum.
I have seen
Oh
that.
my gosh.
That's
my
a good
brother
one.
showed it to
That
me. He
show
was
is
like, "This is so
good.
precious."
It is, honestly.
Yeah. But I've heard some people who are on the spectrum say that there's reasons why they really don't like the fact that there's that show. And I want to look more into that because I want to understand like where they're coming from. If some people find it kind of harmful to the autistic community, like I want to know.
I've heard some of those accusations.
Yeah.
But I've seen the autistic people on the show say I was fine. I didn't feel
okay.
Yeah, like
because
my
that would
experience
break
was
my
great.
heart if any of them felt uncomfortable at any point in time
Yeah.
during filming or when it came out. I'd be like, we're canceling it immediately. Like, you need to stop.
Nah, most of them are influencers now.
Really?
Like,
That's so cute.
I don't know about influencer, but like they've started like their online presence.
Oh, I love that.
Some of them are doing music videos.
It's so cute. Like Abby, her name is Abby, right?
Yeah.
She, speaking of CeraVe, I follow her on Instagram and she was doing a sponsored post for CeraVe.
Get your bag.
I was like, yes.
Get your bag. Oh,
it was the cutest thing ever. Like just, oh my gosh, it was amazing. It was so sweet.
Yeah.
And she like knits and sells hats as well, I'm pretty sure.
I love when people have their own business.
Yeah. And she's like, has like a budding music career. She's like out here making music videos and stuff, just like singing about her life. It's so cute. It's like, I love it.
I love
it's so
seeing
good.
people succeed. It brings me so much joy.
I know.
I love it.
I know. Yeah.
That's
no, it was
lovely.
great.
Okay. Well, thank you for answering all your questions. Or all my questions. All our questions. Anyway, what are we doing now? Oh, boy briefs.
We should do
DJ,
boy briefs.
You're up.
It's my moment.
It's your moment.
Time to shine.
So I have a couple things, and I want you to tell us if this is true or delulu. So these are some things.
Do you know what delulu means?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
Here's the tone.
Just making
He
sure.
said yes.
Never
these
know.
are some things that I've seen girls say, and I can't tell if the girl is being delusional when it comes to what men think of her, or if there's truth to it. So
this is gonna be fun. I like this one.
some of them seem a little bit similar, but okay, we'll just roll with it because it'll spark convo. Okay. If men keep fumbling you, it's because you're the whole package and they don't know how to handle it / deal with you at all, and they're not secure enough for that. True or delulu?
Hold on, say it again. Okay, go. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh,
if
boy.
men, why do I feel congested all of a sudden? Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. If men keep fumbling you, it's because you're the whole package and they don't know how to handle it or handle you or deal with it all. And they're not secure enough for that.
True or delulu?
True or delulu?
This is funny, yeah. If one man fumbles you, then it could be true. If men plural, keep fumbling you, the balls might be deflated. So delulu.
The balls might be deflated?
What?
Fumble, football, the ball.
Oh, I was like, what? Okay.
This is the girls' podcast.
Well, the thing said fumble.
Yeah, but like, not in terms of sports.
Yeah.
Yay, sports. Like, I don't know.
What other? Okay, now you got it.
Okay.
Delulu.
So
know
you
your
think
audience.
this is delulu?
If multiple men keep fumbling you, chances are they don't want to play.
Dang. Okay.
So you're saying you
They're not
might
fumbling, they're
be the
putting the-
common denominator in this
Yeah,
situation.
they're putting
you
the
should
ball
look at
down.
why.
Yes.
Okay.
If it's one though, then it could be true.
Or two? What about two?
Yeah. What's our cutoff here?
Yeah.
2 is the cutoff.
Okay.
So if you've been fumbled by 2 men, it
True.
might not be because you're the whole package.
But that's the line between true and delulu.
Yes.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
If you're not being approached by men, it's because they know you're wife material and they want girlfriend material. Basically, they know that they're going to have to come correct and be in it for the long haul, so they don't even touch you.
Delulu.
Interesting. Go deeper.
Because it's not always the case. Some might just be shy.
Okay. Okay.
Like there's a lot of nuance to like why men would or wouldn't approach a girl. Might just find you super attractive and like out of my league and just give up. Might be too shy. The answer might be true, but the reason I said delulu is because it's not 100% of the time always true.
Okay. Next one. If you get approached in public, you shouldn't take it as a compliment because that means you're not intimidating and pretty enough. And so guys felt like they could just walk up to you and say something.
Huh? Wait, say what?
It says, if you get approached in public, you should not take it as a compliment because that means you're not intimidating or pretty enough. And so a guy felt like it'd be easy to just casually walk up to you and hit on you.
Why would you want to be intimidating to a guy?
I think what they meant it as is the idea of because of what these other ones are saying. So it's the idea like, oh, if you got fumbled, it's because you're the whole package. Like they were intimidated. So if you're not intimidating, it means you're not the whole package is I think the thinking here. It's like, if I'm the full package, I should be intimidating to men. So if you're getting approached in public, it's because you're not the whole package. You're not intimidating enough. And you should take it as, what's the opposite of a compliment? An insult. That took too long.
So getting approached is an insult. Not getting approached is a delulu.
And
I
want
would say delulu to that one too.
We're keeping in mind, like, these are not things I came up with. I was like on TikTok, just like looking for common themes.
Okay, do you guys
that
think,
one sounds actually toxic.
I have a genuine question.
Yeah.
Do you think that women who think like the women writing these questions are serious? Or are they doing it for likes and clicks? Because I don't think you can really think that highly of yourself.
No, I disagree. There are 1,000% people out there who do.
I think they're being genuine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's why I wanted to bring it up, like to get to the heart of the conversation, is because I've had people say stuff like that to me where they're like, oh, you're just single because like, you know, a guy knows he can't yada, da, da, da. And I'm like, you're lying. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it feels like an excuse that we make to tell people so that they feel better about their singleness. But in some cases, I've heard guys say like, I wouldn't even go talk to that girl because she was just, we were on different levels here. Like I wouldn't even try, or I tried and I failed miserably. So it makes me wonder when they're saying that, yeah, like, is it true or is it delusional?
I think it's all delusional. I have a take. I'm scared to say it because this is a girls' podcast.
It is a girls' podcast.
I don't
Tread
want to
lightly.
yeah, it's hard to with this take. I think let me word this carefully.
I'm like, what is he going to say? I also have one more, but we'll talk about it after.
I think based on the narrative and these takes that I hear on the internet from women,
Mm-hmm.
I think the average woman, based on these takes, I make that very clear in all caps. The ones who subscribe to these takes, I think they have a super, super inflated sense of ego. And I think they think that women are like this like prize. And like eggshells.
Okay, you mean like they think that they're better than everybody?
I think they think that they are the greatest gift from God. And that men should know that. And if a man doesn't think that, then he's toxic because I'm a woman and I'm amazing.
Okay, so what you're actually describing is that you think that they have a superiority complex.
Yes. Yeah, you worded it right. Okay. Everything I didn't say well, erase it and then put that there.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know, I just don't think it's realistic. I think the sentiment of every woman is a 10. I don't think it's a good sentiment to have. I think every woman should have a self-worth. But I don't think every guy thinks he's a 10.
Okay, I think there's a big difference. I think there's a big difference.
Oh, she's hitting
between,
the mic.
Yeah,
she thinks it's me. She wants to.
Can of worms.
I think that there's a big difference between you thinking you're a 10 and the fact that everyone is a 10. Like, I feel like everyone actually is a 10. But that doesn't mean, like, just because you're a 10 doesn't mean everyone has to be attracted to you. But I think everyone is a 10 because everyone has all these amazing qualities and such and such. But I also think that you might not think you're always a 10.
I agree with that to an extent.
Okay.
I agree with the root of what you're saying.
Okay.
Like, on a human level, yes, we are all 10s because we all are made in the image of God. We're all beautiful.
Yes, and
right?
amen.
But I do think there is this tone that I think a lot of young men are being taught that, and a lot of young women are being taught too, that as a woman, I am a 10. Period. I don't have to do anything. Right? So every man should view me as a 10 because I'm a woman. And I don't think that's healthy for society. Because then you get men who just either subscribe to it or on the opposite, fight it. And now you have just like gender wars. You know what I mean? And then you have these questions that are so delusional, but you can't say that they're delusional because then they'll be like, you hate women. No, you just sound crazy.
Okay.
I think I agree with you in the sense that we are all 10s for a variety of reasons. But I also think that like everybody has their own like preferences and, you know, tastes and things that, you know, whatever. So I feel like you can think that everyone's a 10. And I think that you should feel that about yourself too.
Right.
You know, and like walk with that confidence, not arrogance, but confidence. But I also think that we all just have to be aware of the fact that like, you know, there's something to be said about like the eye of the beholder. So like I might be a 10 to somebody, but not to somebody else. And that's okay because I might think that one person is like that, but another person isn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the 10 that you're describing goes beyond looks.
Yeah.
I think the 10 that I hear about on the internet is solely looks.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that would make sense, because what I was thinking during what you were saying is I don't think that you should be able to assign somebody as a 10 at all. Like,
I
that's
agree.
the only
I
number
think
you
that-
could assign,
I mean, for the sake
actually.
of conversation, we're talking about it, but I've always thought that whole like 6, 10, 8, whatever thing, like, is just weird.
It's subjective.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And yes, and that's part of why it's weird,
And
is because it's subjective.
devaluing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because you're telling me you're putting somebody's entire worth into a number on a scale of 0 to 10?
Right.
Couldn't be me.
Right.
I feel like the narrative makes women give themselves a value
Hmm.
that men then can decide if they want to purchase or not.
Right. I
Interesting.
agree. Like, if you're talking about this in context of just your looks, for example, then I don't know why you would want to do that, because then that implies that, like, that is the peak of what you have to offer,
Yeah.
which is just wildly untrue.
I mean, I think for a lot of the ones I brought up, I don't think they were talking just about looks. It's kind of the idea of you're the whole package.
Okay.
You're pretty, you're funny, you're smart, you're career driven, you have your things together, you're really caring, and they're
But the whole
basically,
package, according to who?
I mean,
I feel like it's
societal
still
standards,
subjective.
them, like that's true. And that's the thing, is that there will never be a perfect standard when it comes to stuff like this, because everyone's different. It is so subjective. But if they're saying that you're all these things, you're essentially a prize, and this guy fumbles, it's not because of you, it's because he can't handle it.
I hate that. I'm triggered. I don't think women should give women advice on what men like.
Well, that's why I'm bringing it up here.
Yeah.
Because
agree.
okay.
Boy, brief us.
And I should say I
Sure.
do think that women can give other women advice in this stuff, but I think you have to be careful about what kind of advice you're getting.
Agreed.
It's one thing for your girls to hype you up and remind you of, like, no, like, da 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 da. But it's another thing when somebody is actually speaking life into you, but also saying, like, hey, do you think you might be being a little this? Or when such and such happened, how did you feel about that? Like, they can also draw out the things that might not have gone so well on your end.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like there's no accountability for what you might have played, like what role you might have played in your romantic escapades.
Downfall.
Yeah.
Downfall. Demise.
Like it just
Ruin.
like questions like this come across to me like if a man, and I put quotes around it, fumbled you that's him. Yeah, and he like it was all him. There's nothing you could have done because you're perfect.
Right.
And nobody's perfect. Right? And it just presents this like
I gotta work it. Go ahead.
Hannah Montana. It just presents this perfectionism almost.
Yeah.
But like women are perfect. And
So
that's
it
just-
comes across to you as being almost a little bit like arrogant or conceited.
Yeah. It comes across like the girl who knows she's pretty and acts like it. And that instantly makes you less pretty.
Is that something that you think guys can spot right away? Like, she's pretty and she knows she's pretty?
Yes.
Huh.
Can you spot
But
when
I
guys
think
do
that's
it?
I think
I don't
that's
know
the
if
same
I
as
can
dudes though.
Really?
personally. I don't think
I would say so, because I think it's like the difference between a guy who's like super jacked and walks around with that kind of energy, like that douchebag gym bro, like, I know I have like, massive muscles and like I'm gonna, versus the guy who like enjoys working out and like is super built but isn't like
He's modest.
carrying himself with that like macho kind of energy.
I think people just don't like that. In general, like
Well,
men
I don't
and
think
women
people like
aside.
peacocking. Like they don't like when people strut around like.
That's what it is.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Look
That's
at
what
me.
it is.
Yeah, and these questions come across like a generation. I don't want to say generation because I know it's internet stuff,
Yes.
but like that sector of the internet comes across like a bunch of peacocks.
Interesting.
And no,
Yeah.
I'll pass.
Okay. I have one more, and then there's like just another thought in my head. But it says girls that seem really sweet and pretty and dateable often get left behind because guys assume they already either have a lot of romantic attention or they might already be taken, so they don't even bother.
Delulu.
We have a true. Okay, go deeper though. Let's hear it.
Hold on, let me read it again.
He revokes it.
I answered kind of quick though.
Girls that seem really sweet and pretty and dateable often get left behind because guys assume they either already have a lot of romantic attention or maybe are already involved romantically with someone else, so they don't even bother.
Oh, okay. No,
Dang
not
it.
Delulu.
I was hoping that like the girls weren't totally Delulu.
No, that is not a hard truth.
Do you think it's more truthful than the others? Like, what do you mean by not a hard truth?
Like, I think all these statements can be true one time.
Only once.
No, like it can be true, period. But it's not the rule.
Okay.
Like
Like
you
it's
can't,
not the
standard.
default.
yeah, like you can't have this conclusion to it because it can be true. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about that.
Interesting.
I think
So like
And-
it can be true, but if that situation happens, you can't be like, oh, well, it must be true.
yeah, because not all pretty sweet girls get left behind,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
That's kind of like nice guys finish last. That's not always true.
I believe that it is because I think there's a difference between nice guys and good guys. But I think that's a whole other.
Interesting.
I still don't think it's true.
I think, well, actually, you know what? That is fair to say. It's not, there's always an exception to every rule. But I think that when I'm not even going to get into that today. No, I'm not doing it. But I think nice guys and good guys, that's an interesting conversation. Okay. Thank you for answering, playing the true or Delulu. I guess my thought with this though is because there's a lot of really amazing, fantastic girls sitting out there trying their best, being their best in relationships, or like not getting into relationships, but again, just being super kind and loving and sweet and like pretty and all the things. And it's just not happening. Whether it be they keep getting fumbled or yeah, they're just not getting approached, etc. And I feel like I've now been phrasing it like, what's your big brother advice? Because a lot of girls don't necessarily have a guy that's going to like just speak truth into their life about the situation. And so I just want to know like your thoughts. Cause I think a lot of the time you're left being like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? What am I specifically doing wrong? How do I fix it? You know?
I think a lot of girls maybe might think that just being pretty and being nice means I should be approached. But not all guys are forward like that. You know? Like the guy that might be for you might need a little
Help.
yeah, right? And we had the conversation. That doesn't mean pursue him, but you can let somebody know that you are available and interested in that. I think it's kind of like the friendship conversation. If you just sit around waiting for it, I don't think you can really blame the guys for just not coming to you. You kind of have to put yourself out there in a sense. And I think if you put yourself out there and accept you might be rejected and just keep going, I think eventually you will find the person. I think everything that we applied to finding friends can be applied to this scenario.
Romantic, yeah.
And I think genuinely don't just sit around expecting a guy to approach you because you're pretty and a girl and sweet. That might not always be the way to go.
Interesting.
And if it's not working in one circle, go find a new ecosystem. if that's something you really want, go search it. Go look for it. And look for it by putting yourself in positions, not like going out and being like, hey, come date me. You know, but just strategically put yourself in environments, positions where,
like socially.
yeah.
Okay.
And then get some guy friends
Yes.
that can really speak life into you. And also just be real with you.
Like, yeah.
Who
I
can
think
see past your 10, even though you are a 10, and tell you when you're dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing. I think that every girl needs one or more like just solid guy friend.
Yeah.
You know, and you're not like secretly trying to like
Present yourself.
yeah, like get at each other.
Yeah.
Just like a friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
A brother friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I think.
Oh, cool.
I think every girl needs that.
I agree. I do agree. I think, yeah. I'm not even gonna add. I agree.
My advice is it takes 2 to tango. That's it. If you're not going to invest in something to even just like try to catch the eye of somebody, you can't just expect them to just find you.
And you're saying just simply being pretty, visually speaking, is not enough to catch the eye of somebody.
Yeah, no, because there's a lot of, and especially today, everybody look the same. The makeup styles are all the same. People dress the same.
The lip
The
fillers all the
filters,
same.
the filters are the same. So nobody's really standing out. You know, they behave the same. Nobody thinks differently. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Be different. Yeah.
Can I also though just, you know me, I have to like, anyway.
Do it.
Do it.
Clap back.
No, it's not even clapping back. Actually like my little encouragement coming out, but
do
because
it.
if you are a girl who has been fumbled or has not been approached or has whatever the case may be, the tone of these questions. If you've been fumbled, it's not because you're not the full package though. Like it's easy to also blame yourself in the reverse. I think girls can easily swing one of two ways. I'm the complete package, he's an idiot, or oh my gosh, like why don't guys ever like me? I have no value, etc., etc., etc. That is also very untrue. And it's not one or the other, but I think we often get caught up in that thinking pattern where now because I've been fumbled once or twice or 3 times or whatever that looks like for you. Yes, like I'm not saying you don't have a part to play in it, but it's not because of your inherent worth being any less than it actually is. It's not because you're not pretty enough. It's not because you're not smart enough. It's not because you're not nice enough. It's you weren't right for that person. And wouldn't you rather figure that out anyway? Like, why would you have them hanging around if they're not your person?
What does fumbled mean?
I like the way I understand fumbled is kind of like maybe it, like they did something or a series of things where it kind of gave off carelessness or showed that they didn't really appreciate or care about you that much. It shows that just like it was something that didn't have to go down that way. And it like when you look back at it, it's like, dude, you had so many other options. Like you were just being stupid.
I think that's such a weird take.
To say that that's what fumbling is?
No, if that is what fumbling is, then that's just so weird to me because I don't think that way. I think kind of to what you were just saying. And I just don't like the term fumbled. If there was carelessness, then chances are you don't want to be with somebody who's careless. Cool. You know? I just feel like the fumbled makes it seem like
it's a her thing and not a him thing.
No, it makes it almost like you don't I feel like it objectifies. He fumbled you. Wait, what? Are you not all searching for somebody? And in your search, you met somebody who was just careless and had bad characteristics, right? So it's just like,
So
okay.
that's what I'm saying. It's a him problem, not a you problem.
Well, it implies that he just messed up. Like, you could have had me. I was willing to give myself to you. I was going to be your ride or die. I was down for all that. And you just messed up. You didn't see what you had in front of you. You did something careless, or you just walked away because you thought you found something better. Like, that's the energy that fumbled gives, which I think is interesting, because on his part, or let's say a girl fumbles a guy, on her part, she could be seeing, or he could be seeing, like, no, these are the reasons we're not going to work. Like, I know that. But to the other person, they could just say they fumbled me. And they didn't. If you were able to zoom out and look at the whole thing, you're like, no, you both dodged bullets.
Yeah, exactly. Fumbled feels very selfish.
Interesting.
It feels very, everything's about me.
You know what this conversation makes me think of?
What?
Bringing it back to Love is Blind. What's their faces?
I don't know. Love's blind. I'm kidding. Sorry.
Girl with the eyelashes.
What's that? They all have eyelashes.
No, but she had the bad eyelashes.
Babe, you got to give me more. They all had.
This is how our
Lord, they did not all have
conversations
bad
normally
eyelashes,
go.
but a lot of them had eyelash extensions. I'll leave it at that. Some were thicker than others.
No,
So
hers
which
weren't
one was it?
extensions. They were strip lashes, and they were popping off in all the corners. But
who was she with? What, like, anything? Come on.
Tone, Shaina, tone.
Sorry. Whoa.
No, your tone was
I
fine.
did give tone.
Who's the black girl who was trying to convince the guy?
Oh,
like,
sis.
be with me.
Okay.
What's her name?
That
What's
was
her name?
JD. No, wait, sorry, AD. AD and Clay?
Her.
You could have started with the black girl.
Yeah, that would have been so
Real
much
talk.
easier. She was the only
You
one
started
of
with-
this season.
You started with
Was she
eyelashes.
the only one?
She was the only black girl.
You know, okay, well, you're talking to the makeup artist. Of course, I'm going to notice the eyelashes.
But
Yeah.
even if she wasn't the only black girl, she was
Okay, but
the popular black girl.
may I make
She
a-
was on the cover. I didn't watch the show, and I know
Oh,
who
was
it would
she?
be.
Oh, I didn't know that.
If
Anyway.
you go on Netflix right now, she's on the cover.
Either way, we've
Oh, I
established
didn't
AD and
realize.
Clay.
Yeah, okay. It makes me think of them,
Yes.
this conversation,
Yes.
because
Okay, I have thoughts. Go ahead.
they made it all the way, dragged
They
themselves
dragged themselves to that altar.
to the altar.
It's 6 o'clock
Okay.
now, just so you know.
Thank you. I
Okay.
have to go soon.
Okay. Yeah. And I think that, like, at first glance, you would think that, like, oh, like, he fumbled her, you know? But honestly, they both had their issues. I don't think that they would have been good for each other. She had to, like, full on convince him that, like, no, like, I'm worth it. I would be so good for you. Like, I'll be your ride or die. I'll be your cheerleader. I'll be your whatever. Like, she was, like, doing the most to convince him. It was very like, pick me, choose me, love me. Like, you know? And in the end, obviously, he said no and whatever. But, like, that's what it makes me think of. Like, I feel like people would say, like, oh, he fumbled her. But it's like, I don't necessarily think so.
I feel like saying someone fumbled me takes all of your own power away from you. It puts all the power in their hands. Because if they fumbled you, that means you had no choice in whether you could leave or not. It was up to them to hold on or fumble you. As opposed to, we didn't work out.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Okay, what was your thought on that?
Oh, okay.
Because you, like, freaked out for a hot second there.
I did. My mind was racing. The reason I could look at that situation and it felt like Clay fumbled was because, one, you have this woman basically begging you, which, again, I don't condone. I don't think that was good. But she's there. She's like, pick me up. I'm right here. Like, I'm yours if you want it. And he was just like, no. And then to see him at the reunion saying like, I wish I had said yes. That's what gives fumble energy. It's like, I made this mistake and I regret it. And I think in some of these contexts of the true or delulu stuff I brought up, it's the idea of he's going to regret it later. So like, don't worry about it. Like he's going to regret it later. And I think in a lot of cases that could be true. Like maybe he will regret it later for a plethora of reasons. But on her end, again, just if you have to convince somebody, if you have to present the case as to why, if you have to give them criteria, if you have to give them explanations as to why you're a good fit, they don't want you.
Yeah.
They don't. Like, so don't do that to yourself, because what's going to happen is, let's say you convince them, it's going to wear off, or they're going to have you but not view you as the absolute treasure and prize that you are. And then that's when fumbling actually comes into play. I think, okay, final answer for me, I think fumbling is when you have something and you didn't realize how valuable it was. Now, I don't think that that always plays out the way society makes us think it is, but I think somebody could walk away and say, dang, I fumbled that. If in hindsight, they recognize this was a really good thing and I just didn't value it that way.
You know, in the case of them specifically, AD and Clay, did he not say no because he recognized that, like, you know what, I'm actually not okay and I have daddy issues and like trauma from my parents' marriage, and I don't want to go into a marriage with you unhealed from that and bring that like unchecked baggage, you know?
I think
was that not?
I think that was an excessively huge part of his story. I do believe that. I also have the suspicion, though, I don't think he was attracted to her as he let on. He was attracted to her body. And I mean, who wasn't? Like, look at her. Like, that was like, this poor woman was so sexualized that whole season.
Yeah.
But I think he was missing a slight attraction piece. I think he had a lot of baggage, and I think he just got scared. Because at the end, he started talking about her finances, and like that was the reason. It's like, no, that wasn't it, because that never came up once.
Yeah.
That you know of.
That we know of. Yes, that's fair.
And we all know that the Love is Blind editing is.
Oh, they do those people so dirty. It's not fair.
Yeah.
But I also think, and this is in no way me blaming AD either, but she had it coming. He told her so many times, I don't know if I'm ready for marriage. I'm worried I might cheat. I'm sorry. If a man said that to me, deuces.
Literally.
Like, I'd be like, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
And thank you for being honest with me.
Thank you for being honest. Like, and we should do that. If you don't think you're ready, say something.
Yeah.
And if somebody tells you who they are,
believe
them. I beg, believe them, because they people do say who they are. You just have to shut up for long enough to listen. And we don't.
I think that's actually a common thing in this space that we're talking about, where men will be honest.
They will.
Yes,
and
I agree with you.
And I think a lot of women will overlook their honesty.
Absolutely.
For what reasons, I don't know. I can't speak to it, but they do.
And then when it comes true, then we get into the
he's toxic.
He's toxic. He's trash. He fumbled.
But he told you he wasn't a good player anyways.
Yeah.
I do think that can be true.
I agree very strongly with that.
Not all the time, but I do think that can be true.
Yeah, no, not all the time. Not all the time.
I don't think we can ever speak in absolutes when it comes to this stuff, though. But historically speaking, I think a lot of women could agree with that.
Yeah.
That there were signs, and maybe you didn't realize it till after.
Or you just didn't listen.
Or you chose to blatantly drive past them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red flags are red flags for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are. But either way, I guess that's that. I would love for us to one day, though, have a conversation about, I mean, yes, a red flag conversation. That'd be fun. But also just the idea of discernment. And we started to talk about this a bit with the password conversation, but discernment in relationships. I think that's a huge thing. And I would love to talk about it more. But either way.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Next time.
EJ, thank you so much for answering all the questions.
Thank you. I'll be here next week.
Sounds good. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, we ask that you give us a rating and a review. We love words of affirmation. We really appreciate the ratings. So please do that. If you want to follow Priya, EJ, or myself, you can find all of our information in the show notes. If you are listening to us, please know that we are also on YouTube and you could watch what's happening too and see all of our hand gestures and us hitting the mic and all that fun stuff.
That's true.
So that's pretty much that. Until next time, stay. Why?
You were doing so good.
I was doing so good. Give me 1 sec. You know what it is? I have stage fright. And so I get nervous every time.
Basically,
okay.
don't be Delulu and don't get your panties in a bunch.
Yes,
chill out.
from her.
I have to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
That's crazy.
But that.
I was gonna be Black Cat about it. You be Golden Retriever about it. Go.
Yeah. Okay. Until next time, guys. Stay faithful, stay courageous, keep embracing the journey, and don't get your panties in a bunch. We love you so much. Bye.
Definitely Golden Retriever.
Yeah.